were used to attract starstruck but unsuspecting bettors. U.S. Attorney Joseph Nocella on the big names arrested.
Chauncey Billups, who at the time of the scheme was a former NBA player and is currently the head coach of the Portland Trailblazers. And also Damon Jones, a former NBA player and coach.
A second probe involves betting on NBA games based on confidential information. Miami Heat guard Terry Rozier among those indicted. He was arrested in Orlando this morning. Peter King, CBS News, Orlando.
Now to Washington, where the demolition of the entire east wing of the White House is more than the president himself advertised about his controversial ballroom project. CBS's Linda Kenyon.
President Trump has said no public funds are being used for construction of the ballroom, that he's paying for it himself along with donors. Those donors include Apple, Amazon, Meta, and Google, which have all taken steps to strengthen ties with the administration. Others include Comcast Corporation, Microsoft, Lockheed Martin, T-Mobile, Union Pacific Railroad, and Cameron and Tyler Winklevoss.
Well, to Capitol Hill now, where on day 23 of the government shutdown, CBS's Caitlin Huey-Burns reports on efforts to try to get some federal workers paid.
Right now, because there is no movement on this short-term resolution that they've been voting over and over again, you have both parties putting forward proposals to pay different sectors kind of in piecemeal. And we've not seen any success with any of those yet. We'll have two more today.
And CBS's Michael Wallace has more on the real-world impact of the shutdown.
Arkansas is warning SNAP benefits will be delayed if the shutdown doesn't end by November 1st. Teresa Robertson is with the Better Community Development Center in Little Rock.
We have clients come in all the time that talk about how I've eaten out of a dumpster 3 times this week because my benefits got cut off.
Meals on Wheels in San Antonio has lost $1.2 million in federal funding, forcing it to cut service to hundreds of seniors. CEO Vincent Farris says a local business owner donated almost $200,000 to help.
It's letting these folks know that they're not alone and people remember.
Inter Miami says Lionel Messi has agreed to a new contract to remain with the Major League Soccer club. To the Vatican. History was made today when King Charles became the first British monarch to pray publicly with a pope in a service presided over by Pope Leo. Checking Wall Street, right now the Dow is up 33 points. The S&P is up 26. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
New Seattle cops poised for a big boost in pay. The story coming up, but first, KIRO Newsradio traffic. In Tacoma, the crash has been cleared from I-5. The earlier car fire on I-5 northbound in Seattle has cleared, but the backup has not, and this is affecting westbound I-92. Travel time Seattle to Bellevue on I-90 is 36 minutes, nearly 20 longer than usual. Federal Way to Seattle, 68 minutes, nearly 10 longer. Renton to Bellevue, 48. Everett to Seattle, 48 minutes. Traffic brought to you by Washington 811. If you're digging in your yard, you are legally required to call 811 to avoid damaging utility lines. Call or go to digsafewa.com.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. A major pay raise for Seattle cops if the city council approves a new contract agreement. The Seattle Times reporting starting officers would be paid nearly $120,000 in their first year, 13% more than now. SPD Chief Sean Barnes.
The agreement modernizes our wages and keeps benefits high so that we can maintain a well-staffed police department, which translates into public safety.
The agreement also makes the department's care team of behavioral health professionals permanent. They respond to non-criminal incidents like someone experiencing a mental health crisis. Seattle police say they've identified a suspect in a stabbing that happened in the middle of the afternoon yesterday on 3rd Avenue in Pioneer Square. The victim waved down police and told them the suspect asked him for drugs, and when he said he didn't have any, he got stabbed. Seattle police are searching for the driver who hit and killed a pedestrian in Ballard. More from KIRO 7 TV's Ranji Sinha.
This happened around 10:15 p.m. Officers came out here on reports of a hit and run, found the man in the street. Seattle Fire Department personnel also came out, tried to save that 56-year-old man's life, but he died out here.
They were crossing the street diagonally southbound when they were struck by that vehicle.
It was traveling southbound on 15th Avenue Northwest.
We should know by Monday when westbound I-90 near Cleelum will reopen. Troopers say an overheight truck rammed into an overpass yesterday. WashDOT's Megan Lott says engineers are assessing the damage.
So that we can start putting the pieces in motion to try and figure out when we can get an emergency contract to get this fixed and repaired.
More than 17,000 vehicles use I-90 near Cleelum each day. More than 1,500 use that overpass. Washington State Patrol troopers respond to a 911 call for a rescue on I-5. It happened in Tacoma yesterday after witnesses spotted a tiny kitten hiding in a crack under a concrete barrier. Body cam video shows two troopers crawling to reach her.
Good kitty.
The 1-month-old kitten weighs about a pound. They've named her Trooper. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Cloudy skies with highs in the low 60s. It is 56 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio App. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Happy Wednesday, October 22nd. If you're new to the show, thank you for being here. If you're always a part of the show, thank you for always coming back.
And thank you for coming back, even though G says it's Wednesday when it's actually...
Oh, it's Thursday!
Isn't it Thursday?
It is! Okay, can I tell you something?
Yes.
Can I tell you something that you'd be proud of? Oh, yeah. You know what? Yeah.
Yes.
Par for the course. Hey, you know what? Let me tell you what's going on. I can't concentrate. And I can't concentrate because here's where you be proud. There's so much damn news today.
There is.
Ursula, I've been
We're bursting
working.
at the seams.
My news boss is going to be open the entire time. Today, you're finally going to have a co-host that works today.
You work every day, but today you're going to be paying special attention because, okay, in case you missed the news, Portland Trail Blazers head coach, a Miami Heat guard, they are some of the high-profile people charged in a massive federal gambling investigation. And we are going to be taking a deep dive into sports gambling, and we'll talk about how many Washingtonians are sinking into bankruptcy because of it. So that conversation is coming up at 9:30. As always, we invite you to join us on our KIRO News Radio text line, 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO.
Let's get the people what they want. Ursula's top stories of the day brought to you by Bath Fitter Northwest.
Auburn's mayor is facing serious questions after a KIRO News Radio investigation by our colleague Charlie Harger found that she had written a letter supporting a pastor who admitted to raping a 15-year-old girl. And Charlie is in the studio now to break down this story.
Ursula, we have this case of Joshua Obadiah Headley. He was a pastor in Auburn, and in 2018, a girl comes forward. She told police she had been repeatedly sexually assaulted by Headley. He was her pastor at a church in Auburn. And the investigation continued for a couple of years, as these cases often do. And this is not only a case where the mayor asked for leniency, but we have a case where the business, political, and civic community in Auburn seemingly looks the other way. So Headley was a pastor very involved around town. And while he was under active investigation by the Auburn Police Department, he applies to be a chaplain with the Auburn Police Department. While he's under this active investigation, he records video of the Auburn Miss Teen pageant, and then pastors around town start hearing about this. The religious community in Auburn is very tight-knit. So I started speaking to some of them, and they told me they went and warned Mayor Backus before Josh Headley asked her to write a letter for her. They warned her, do not do this. We have read the text messages that Headley wrote to this 15-year-old girl. Too graphic to share here. So the pastors say they warned her, and then In June of 2022, Headley writes an email to Pastor Backus, whom he knew, and he says, I have a question for you. Can I get your personal email address? Presumably that's so it doesn't show up on a government email. A couple months later, Backus turns around and writes an email to Headley's attorney as they're getting ready for sentencing. Headley pleaded guilty to this crime. And in this email, she writes, and I'll quote here from it, which we have it up on mynorthwest.com. I'm asking the court for treatment for Josh versus jail/prison time. I truly believe that our community would be best served by the treatment option. I do not take my comments and requests lightly, as I am responsible for the safety of our city. That's what she wrote to his defense attorney.
So what was her interest in this case, and why would she go to bat for someone who is admittedly had done something so egregious?
By all accounts, Headley was a very charismatic guy. He was very active in the community, particularly during COVID, helped organize food drives, different community events. So there's a feel-good aspect to it. But there's also this underbelly, right? So Headley goes to prison, and he spends 6 months there. And when he gets out, he almost immediately changes his business name to Jay Seeley. And he starts getting these contracts, and you can look this up with the Washington Public Disclosure Commission. We have a link on mynorthwest.com. All sorts of politicians start using his services for social media, for video, for advice on running campaigns. More than a dozen politicians sign up to use the Seeley Media service. Meantime, he had won an award with the Auburn Chamber of Commerce prior to his sentencing in 2020. Turn around in 2024, he's got this new name. And under this new name, the Auburn Chamber of Commerce yet again gives him an award or nominates him for an award and allows him under this Seeley name to also sponsor an award show.
Okay, so just recently, Auburn Mayor Nancy Backus was really giving her comments talking about the South Hill rapist and Kevin Coe. Kevin Coe has been in the news as someone who has been trying to find a place to live, and she had strong words to say about that. So I would assume that when you were preparing all of this and finding out about everything centered around this topic, did you reach out to the mayor, Nancy Backus, and if you did reach out, did she respond back?
The answer is yes, and it's actually kind of an interesting story here, Gee, because I reached out to her earlier this month. It was on a Friday. That was the Friday, October 3rd. I sent her an email asking her some very pointed questions about this.
Okay.
She replied back on a Tuesday following this. I had given that as a deadline for when I needed some answers before we move forward. Mm-hmm. She did express regret for sending this. She did say that she was unaware that Headley, who had pleaded guilty to third-degree child rape, would also become a sex offender and be on the sex offender registry. And she said that she would not, in this current light, write such a letter based on what she knows now. That's part one.
Okay.
Part two. I sent that letter to Backus and Backus alone on that Friday.
Okay.
I had also made a public disclosure request with the city.
Okay.
So that was Friday the 3rd. Saturday the 4th, 9:59 p.m., I get an unsolicited email from Josh Headley. Headley saying, I understand there may be a news story coming out.
Wait, stop right there. So you only sent a message an email to the mayor, Nancy Backus.
That's right.
And that was on the 3rd.
I also made a public disclosure request.
And on the 4th, you get a message from
Josh Headley, who I've never spoken to.
Was he trying to pressure you not to do the story?
He wanted to provide his side of the story.
So what's his take?
Well, he says he's been through this journey of restorative justice. And I asked him to explain that, because that's also the reasoning given by Backus, saying that, yes, she's a strong believer in restorative justice. The response I got from the Chamber of Commerce just yesterday at 6 p.m. mentioned restorative justice. Now, my question, the Chamber of Commerce did get back to me after publication.
Okay.
And presumably after seeing
Why
our
are they
promotions.
connected to the story?
Because they have provided Headley 2 different awards, one under the name of Headley, and then when he comes back, he's embraced by the chamber, and he has this name, Seeley, in which he is nominated for an award and is a co-sponsor under this new name.
Okay.
I should also note that Headley's wife is a member of the board of directors on the Auburn Chamber of Commerce.
Well, I think that's kind of a big detail.
Wait, that's a huge wait.
Well, that's a big detail because it's, again, you ask, why is the mayor of Auburn going to bat, putting her name and her reputation and the safety of the city that she runs
and why are
at risk for this guy?
And then the wife, his wife, is on the Chamber of Commerce down in Auburn?
Yes. Also,
which would also then raise questions about how he keeps getting nominated for these awards. I mean, honestly, Charlie, you're a news guy, and I'm a former news person, but now I can give my opinion. This stinks to high heaven, obviously, and it sounds like only because it came to light. Now they're saying, well, the mayor says, and I would have done it differently. The restorative justice, that is a phrase that is used, for example, by the prosecutor's office for these particular programs to try to offer an alternative path for mostly used for youth, but to
I asked Casey
go
McNerney
away from the treatment versus jail thing.
And so I'm thinking at the time, Ursula, wait a second, is this something that was offered by the prosecutor's office? Am I missing something here? So I reach out to Casey McNerney at the prosecutor's office. He goes, oh, no, that's not something that we do typically with sex offenders, certainly not in this case. So I reach back to Backus and I say, and she goes, no, I was using it as a general term. I wasn't speaking the prosecution-wise.
I just need a timeout on this because I want to go back to something. I want to make sure I got this straight. So the name of his wife that's on the Chamber of Commerce for Auburn, I would assume that their names aren't the same right now because he changed his last name to Seeley. In changing his last name to Seeley, question number 1, does he have to register as a sex offender still?
I want to phrase this as best I can. Let me phrase this in this way.
Okay.
Seeley, he started using the Seeley moniker in 2023 after getting out of prison.
Okay.
According to Washington state statute, you are supposed to notify the sheriff's office within 3 business days if you have started using an alias.
Okay.
The King County Sheriff's Office tells us that it was March 17th of this year when a tip from the community let the department, the King County Sheriff's Office, know that he was using this alias. And that's when it was added to the sex offender registry.
Okay. So when it was added, this is a yes or no question that some people don't like. Yes or no, has Seeley been connected to any events or around any schools that involve kids?
What I can tell you is that he had posted a picture of himself on Instagram, recording a video for the Yes for Yelm Schools campaign. There's a picture of him shooting video of a school bus. There is also video, I believe it's been taken down from the Seeley Media Instagram page, wherein his company, at least, recorded high school-age students, girls, supporting the Yes for Yelm Schools levy.
Wait, real quick. Ursula, Yelm, aren't we supposed to talk about Yelm today?
We are. It's in the news right now because Yelm is in trouble if this levy doesn't pass.
So the Yelm School District, so he was down there in the Yelm School District.
This could be a different levy. I believe this was last year.
Okay.
So,
yeah, because it's failed 3 times already. But back to, so he shouldn't have been using an alias. He's using an alias. Is Nancy Backus running for re-election?
She is.
Again?
She is up for election in November.
Coming up here.
Yes.
And does she have any opponents?
Yes. Yolanda Trout is the opponent.
Okay, because I would imagine some are asking, well, why is this all coming out now? Did you have any contact with anyone from the opponent's campaign?
No. This is something that had been bubbling up on actually the Auburn community Reddit page. And I saw this and it was like, there is no way that can be true. And so I started poking around, and remarkably, no, I've spoken with no one in the city council race.
Did we find out about, and I'm sure this is an opportunity maybe for the Gee and Ursula show, because I would like to talk to the Chamber of Commerce and find out why they are giving Headley awards, and if that connection to the awards has anything to do with his wife actually working for the Chamber of Commerce. I know that's not something you have, but that's just a question I have.
It's a question I've posed. The Chamber, I had sent out an email to them requesting comment a little over 2 weeks ago.
Nothing?
And they finally got back to me yesterday evening at 6. In the email, it mentioned something to the effect of that a community member named Marissa, it was the person who was their contact. What they failed to mention in that email to me was that Marissa/Mars is on the Auburn Board of Directors for the Chamber of Commerce, and they also didn't mention that she's married to Josh Headley.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, my
gracious.
goodness.
Charlie.
Man. Like this story
twists and
doesn't
turns
stop.
of this story. And
It's
I know,
gross.
I just want to say that I know that you have been working on this for a long time, and you've wanted to make sure that you have crossed all your T's and dotted all your I's, et cetera. I mean, this is something that you've been looking into. You also happen to live in Auburn.
I do. Very unfamiliar with any of this. You know, I am not actively aware of a lot of city politics. So, the traffic seems fine. So I'm not not super concerned. But yeah, when you start digging into it, I think there's a lot more digging to be done as well.
Well, I heard the pastor that you talked to, who
Sean Lambert.
I appreciate that couldn't have been easy,
No.
but that he went digging around and he was asking for freedom of information requests to get more information because he was concerned.
He was. And the pastors I spoke to, all concerned about their community, wanting to keep the community safe. And it seemed a lot more than just keeping their congregation safe. They were more concerned about the community.
Charlie, thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate it.
You bet. And be sure to check out there's an 11-minute video on this on mynorthwest.com. We have an extensive write-up as well. Really, a lot is going on in this story.
For sure.
Thank you, Charlie.
Great work.
Appreciate it. Hey, Ursula, before we go, I just want to say this. You know, I found it interesting because it just came out. We were having this conversation talking about the South Hill rapist, Kevin Coe, who was removed from Auburn, and the conversation about that. And I thought it was an interesting quote by Auburn Mayor Nancy Backus. And this is something she said, and I just wonder and hope that she still stands by this. She says, quote, "This outcome isn't about kicking the can down the road," and talking about the Kevin Coe South Hill rapist thing. And she says, "Every community deserves transparency and a voice when matters of public safety are at stake." You know, Ursula, I hope the mayor of Auburn, Kathy Backus, stands by that and continues to stand by that. So when you're talking about transparency, let's don't pick and choose when you want transparency to be something. Let's keep it all that way. I don't care who you know, who it involves. You're talking about public safety, do it the right way. So I would love to, Chef, as a producer, I would love to talk to the mayor, Kathy Backus. I would love to talk to people from the Chamber of Commerce. I would love to continue to talk about this story because, like Kathy Backus said, Nancy, thank you. Every community deserves transparency and a voice when matters of public safety are at stake.
Absolutely. Okay, we'll have more of the Gee and Ursula Show coming up.
You never know what's in store each morning once you hit the road.
We've got a major traffic alert in effect right now.
While you're getting ready every morning, make us part of your routine.
What morning, huh?
Yeah, got off to an early start.
Just tell your smart speaker to play KIRO News Radio or stream us on the app.
Both directions of I-5 are closed.
We'll help you get where you're going faster.
Maybe bail at 512.
KIRO News Radio. We're on your smart speaker, the app, and 97.3 FM.
Every time I turn around, my friends at Pure Talk give me one more reason to feel good about switching. This month, for instance, they're supporting Canines for Warriors, a terrific organization that trains rescue dogs and then pairs them up with combat veterans struggling with PTSD. The result? They're saving lives on both ends of the leash. This is why I switched to Pure Talk. I like being in business with an American wireless company who shares my values. Yeah, I appreciate unlimited talk, text, and plenty of 5G data for just $25 a month, and I bet you will too. But I think you'll really appreciate doing business with a company who gives back to the men and women who volunteered to defend our country. Just dial pound 250, say micro. With Pure Talk's U.S. customer service team, you can switch in as little as 10 minutes. Again, dial pound 250, say micro, to switch to an American wireless company who actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
Carter Subaru is Seattle's only Subaru dealership and has the largest selection of Subarus in the entire state. For a limited time, you can get the 2025 Subaru Crosstrek starting at 1.9% financing for 60 months. With over 250 Crosstreks to choose from, you'll find the exact color and trim you're looking for. Visit Carter Subaru in Shoreline and Ballard or anytime at cartersubaru.com.
On approved credit, subject to vehicle insurance and availability. A documentary service fee may be added to the sale price or capitalized costs. See dealer for details. Valid through 10/31/25.
Health insurance is broken, but it doesn't have to be. That's why Scan Health Plan was founded as a nonprofit, so we can create Medicare Advantage plans that focus on the real needs of seniors. We've been people first since 1977, and we're here to make Medicare work hard for you, because you deserve more than a broken system. You deserve a plan that fights for you. Visit scandifference.org to learn more. Scan Health Plan is an HMO plan with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Scan Health Plan depends on contract renewal.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code BOOST25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code BOOST25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code BOOST25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Well, I'm here with my good buddy, Dr. Dan Nelson from Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine. And you've heard from Dr. Dan's patients over the years how a simple stem cell procedure has successfully conquered their pain. Well, folks, now it's my turn. After years of dealing with knee pain from all the football abuse, I can say my knee pain now is almost 100% gone. How'd you do it, Dr. Dan?
Well, Brock, personally, I'm very happy that you did so well. And your story is like so many of our other patients who come in, former athletes and non-athletes as well, who have come in with chronic knee pain, and they are looking for alternatives besides knee replacement surgery. And we're happy to provide this service. It's been truly a game changer for so many folks. It's just been a pleasure to be part of this.
Consider Dr. Nelson, the only doctor with over 30 years of experience in pain medicine techniques, including stem cell therapy. I was in and out with a couple of follow-ups. It's a non-surgical solution to pain using your own stem cells. Consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD at 425-823-4000 or visit danielnelsonmd.com. That's danielnelsonmd.com.
Catch 10-time Grammy winner Arturo Sandoval October 23rd through 26th at Dimitro's Jazz Alley. The Cuban trumpet legend lights up the stage with Afro-Cuban rhythms and high-energy jazz. Tickets at jazzalley.com. Now is your time to get into a new D.R. Horton home. by taking advantage of its national Red Tag sales event, now extended through October 26th. Stop by any of its participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. So whether you're buying your first home or looking for an upgrade, you don't want to miss the Red Tag sales event, extended to October 26th. Discover the D.R. Horton difference at drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder and equal housing opportunity builder.
Eric Butler here, General Manager at Kia of Everett, with some big news. Kia just dropped the biggest EV deals we've ever seen. The expired federal tax credit was great, but these new Kia rebates and lease specials are even more aggressive. We're talking thousands in savings on the award-winning EV6, EV9, Niro EV, and more. These exciting EV offers won't last, so get into Kia of Everett today before inventory disappears, or see us at kiaofeverett.com.
Check out the Kia Fall Sales Event at Kia of Everett. Simple, easy, fun.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. A federal indictment names more than 30 people in 2 illegal gambling schemes.
The indictments are for allegedly rigged poker games, partly run by organized crime. Former athletes were used to attract starstruck but unsuspecting bettors. U.S. Attorney Joseph Nocella on the big names arrested.
Chauncey Billups, who at the time of the scheme was a former NBA player and is currently the head coach of the Portland Trail Blazers. Damon Jones, a former NBA player and coach.
Second probe involves betting on NBA games based on confidential information. Miami Heat guard Terry Rozier among those indicted. He was arrested in Orlando this morning. Peter King, CBS News, Orlando.
Demolition of the White House East Wing continues. The cost of President Trump's project now estimated at $300 million.
It's going to be one of the great ballrooms of the world.
Trump says he's building the ballroom with his own funds and donors. CBS reporting those donors include Seattle-based Amazon, Redmond-based Microsoft, and Bellevue's T-Mobile. The federal government shutdown has entered its 23rd day. Millions of Americans are bracing for SNAP food benefits to stop at the end of the month. KIRO 7 TV's Samantha Lomibao reports.
Tatiana Martinez is filling her bag at the West Seattle Food Bank.
I got frozen peaches, yogurt.
Out of uncertainty of where her family's next meals will come from.
I've been stacking up my food and making use of the little EBT I have.
Martinez is one of nearly 930,000 Washingtonians who will lose SNAP benefits on October 31st if the shutdown continues, according to the Department of Social and Human Services.
The Everett City Council has delayed a vote on whether to renew a law that deters homeless camps by banning sitting or lying down in parts of downtown Everett. The council heard public testimony.
These ordinances criminalize homelessness.
We're not trying to criminalize the homeless, but just know that not everybody who comes to our neighborhood respects our neighborhood.
The council wants more data about who's getting cited under the law before making a decision to extend it. A Pierce County Sheriff's Major is now charged with 2 counts of vehicular assault DUI. Prosecutors say Chad Dickerson crashed into a family's SUV in Graham in July, injuring a child and grandmother. The results of his blood alcohol level just came back from the lab. It's over the legal limit. On Wall Street, the Dow is up 95 points. NASDAQ ahead 175. KIRO News Radio traffic. A crash is blocking a lane on State Route 161 northbound at 19th Way South. That earlier car fire on I-5 northbound in Seattle, which affected the I-90 bridge, it's cleared and the backup's finally dissipating. Travel time Seattle to Bellevue on I-90 is 17 minutes. That's back on track. Federal Way to Seattle is 55 minutes, just 7 minutes longer than typical. Renton to Bellevue will take you 44 minutes. Traffic brought to you by the Tacoma Holiday Festival, presented by Puyallup Chocolates. October 23rd through the 26th at the Tacoma Dome. Buy tickets at holidaygift-shows.com. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Cloudy skies today with highs in the low 60s. It's 56 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show. We sure appreciate you joining us on this Thursday morning. Thank you so much. And if you woke up this morning and you said to yourself, this was not on my bingo card for 2025, you're not alone, because police arrested Portland Trail Blazers coach Chauncey Billups and Miami Heat guard Terry Rozier in connection to separate but actually related gambling charges. So in one case, Billups And some other former professional athletes and members of the Italian mafia are accused of rigging illegal poker games. CBS's Elaine Quijano was at a press conference with authorities this morning.
Defendants used other cheating technologies such as electronic poker chip trays that could secretly read cards placed on the poker table, card analyzers that utilized technology loaded onto decoy cellular telephones that could surreptitiously detect which cards were on the table, and playing cards that had markers visible only to individuals wearing specially designed contact lenses or sunglasses.
OMG. The other case involved Rosier and others taking part in a long-running sports betting scheme. Authorities say the defendants used insider information to place bets and then changed their performance in games to maximize their payouts.
Whew. Let me start off with this, Ursula. I said this on X. I said it on Charlie's and Amanda's show this morning. And what I said is when money becomes the message, integrity, it becomes negotiable. That's what we're dealing with today. Money is the message. And what do I mean by money being the message? Every single time you turn on the NFL, you turn on the NBA, you turn on MLB, commercial break, DraftKings, commercial break, FanDuel, commercial break, BetMGM, right? You see it's everywhere. It's logos on jerseys, all the commercials, every single timeout, the apps on your phone. This is something that our show, besides graffiti and gambling, that you and I have been talking about. You want to talk about protect the game? This is gross. And yes, the players, gross, no doubt, and they're going to be in the news, and we're talking about Chauncey Billups, and we're talking about Terry Rozier, and Damon Jones is one of them now that just came out, who is also an NBA champion. Yes, we will talk about the players, but we also need to talk about the game. We need to talk about the system that is designed to have this continue. The system where money is the message and it makes integrity become negotiable.
Yeah, is it hypocritical? I think I'm following you because you're basically saying you can't escape these gambling ads even as you are watching these games or looking at them online or whatever it is. It's on the one hand, anyone who works in any affiliation with any of these sports teams is told you cannot gamble.
Yes, you
but then they're pitching it on the it's very hypocritical.
Ursula, you own it. And yesterday in the afternoon, you guys can look this up if you want to. It was breaking news that the NCAA now will allow people to, so if you're a football player, you are allowed to gamble now as long as it's not on football. They've just allowed that. So
are you serious?
I'm dead serious. The news came out yesterday, USA Today, look it up, breaking news. You in D1, you are allowed to now bet. Now,
are they basically just acknowledging, this has been going on all the time, we're just going to say it's okay now?
You know me and my dumb analogies, and I got to do it. I got to do it right now. Imagine you have an 8 and 9-year-old child in your house. And every morning you wake up and all you talk about is marijuana and alcohol and marijuana. And you're talking about how great it is. And we got prop bets for you. And we have an opportunity to smoke the best marijuana in the world. And we got the best beverages in the world. And then in 6 months, come to find out that your 8 and 9-year-old was partaking in marijuana and alcohol. Who are you mad at?
Yeah. You're like, I'm shocked.
Pearls clutched. So it makes me sick that this problem is happening. And by the way, if you guys are wondering, well, how did they get popped? Interesting. Well, like Ursula explained, imagine somebody saying, hey, you have the opportunity to go play poker with Chauncey Billups. You have the opportunity to go play poker with these sports stars. So you and some of your friends, yeah, let's go play poker. You got some money. You bring $15, $20, $30, $50,000 to the table. Well, your sports celebrity the one person that you just think that this is a good time of gambling is actually on the take.
And if you're one of those that lost a lot, I'm going to guess that you were willing to be the loose lips that lets the authorities know what is going on.
Ursula, it's getting bad. And then, like Chef brought up, and I went to go look it up this morning. So in Washington, we're safe, right? Meaning we're safe. Like you can sports bet, but you have to go to the casino. You can't sit on your phone and gamble from your couch.
Or can you?
Or can you? You got Robinhood? You guys got any of these platforms where you're able to get your stock in crypto and things like that? Aha! They have now found and figured out a way that you could be able to gamble coming up with those avenues. So imagine.
Well, it's so easy. I mean, now you're talking about it's at your fingertips. And thanks to a 2018 Supreme Court ruling, there used to be a federal ban on sports betting. But since that ruling, the National Council on Problem Gambling found that among sports bettors, 16% met clinical criteria for gambling disorder, an addiction, and another 13% showed some signs of gambling problems. I'm going to guess that is a very low number. And states that have legalized sports betting see a nearly 30% increase in bankruptcy rates after 4 years, according to two different studies from UCLA and USC. And then here's another one.
Come on.
A University of Kansas study found that online sports betting harms household finances far more than other gambling forms. And why? I mean, it's because you are combining something that is highly addictive with something that people are so passionate about.
So, as I get ready to move on, John Listener Homer says something, and I just want to echo what he just said. All of this is brought to you by gambling. This sports event that you just watched is brought to you by gambling. Yes. Hey, little Johnny, I know you enjoy watching the football and you love it right here, but just so you know, it's brought to you by gambling. Don't hate the player, hate the game. Hey, Ursula, at 9:47, you all know it's a lot of news today when I don't want to play no games. We're not playing Would You Rather today, okay? Allie and Tacoma, we're not doing that. Today.
It'll come back, though. It'll come back.
It'll come back, but not today.
Yeah.
Not today. Wegovy. You guys have heard of that, Wegovy, and we've talked about it. It's the weight loss drug that has been out there. However, study shows some positive benefits. We'll do that next. Gee Ursula.
Celebrating 50 years of Seahawks football.
Number 54, Bobby Wagner, linebacker, one of the finest of his generation. He set just about every tackling record that can be set. He was the heart and soul of one of the best defenses to ever play in the National Football League.
Since the beginning, KIRO is where Seattle and the Pacific Northwest have heard the Seahawks play. Here's to the next 50 years.
After nearly 40 years reporting on the news, there's not a whole lot that scares me anymore, except maybe the idea of not being ready for my retirement. It's this time of year, your costumes should be scary, but not your finances. And that is why I'm working with Trajan Wealth. Their fiduciary advisors take the fear out of planning for the future, and they help investors like myself feel confident about what is next. They're going to sit down with you, they'll figure out your goals, your comfort level, and then they will build a strategy that fits your life. And for me, my goal is to enjoy life right now while I'm still healthy, but also to make sure that I can achieve my goals of traveling the world and making sure that my family is always secure. So before you carve another pumpkin, carve out some time for your future. Call Trajan Wealth today.
Advisory services through Trajan Wealth, LLC. SEC registered investment advisor. Client paid advertisement. Additional disclosures at TrajanWealth.com.
The stock market's on fire. AI stocks are performing at all-time levels. We hope you, like many of our investors, have taken advantage of it. A famous man once said, buy low, sell high. There's also $8 trillion of cash sitting on the sidelines. Investors are either scared or they don't know where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Reutin, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares profit with our investors. We've been doing it for 19 years, averaging double-digit returns with zero investor losses. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital and invest in our family of funds. From a 3-year investment with double-digit returns to only a 90-day commitment returning 7%. We also accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at LegacyG.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at LegacyG.com.
Hey, it's Brock Heward. My family did it, and it saved us thousands. You got to do it. Take the First Mark Insurance Challenge. It's free. See how much First Mark can save you and how much better coverage you can get. They work for you. Go to firstmarkinsurance.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why Big Wireless wants you on an unlimited plan? They probably want you to cover the cost of those 20-somethings using all that data every month. But most people 50 and up like me only use 12 gigs or less. Don't get bamboozled by Big Wireless. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Our plans start at just $20, and we use the same towers as the big guys. Join the millions who choose something better, because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
What's better than soaking every night in a saltwater hot spring spa? Knowing you got it for an incredible price during Olympic Hot Tub's great rebate event. Save up to $4,500 on the best hot tub you can own. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Hi, it's me, Flo, here to tell you that with the Progressive Home and Auto Bundle, you get 24/7 protection, so you're covered no matter where the day takes you.
Even I added too much water to the pizza dough day?
Yep.
How about getting a call from my daughter to pick her up at the airport because her boyfriend is unreliable day?
Especially that day.
What about finding out that one of my pipes suddenly burst in my basement day?
Progressive has every day covered 24/7 with the Home and Auto Bundle. Also, you have a lot of bad days.
Oh no, that was all the same day.
At least you're covered with Progressive.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday. Now is your time to get into a new D.R. Horton home by taking advantage of its National Red Tag Sales Event, now extended through October 26th. Stop by any of its participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. So whether you're buying your first home or looking for an upgrade, you don't want to miss the Red Tag Sales Event, extended to October 26th. Discover the D.R. Horton difference at drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
Are you in pain? Have you considered surgery or even joint replacement? Hi, everybody. It's John Curley. Before you make that decision, I recommend you see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. I did, and it's been a game changer. My doctor took a look at my x-rays and said, well, looks like you need a whole new hip. And then he said, wait, how old are you? And I told him, and then he said, well, wait, you're too young for a hip. You're just going to have to, live with the pain. We'll see you in 3 years. It was horrible. Dr. Wagner is a board-certified Seattle physician with over 30 years of experience performing more than 20,000 stem cell procedures, using a person's own stem cells to regenerate cartilage in their own joints. People with severe osteoarthritis, even bone on bone, are back doing what they enjoy doing without pain and without surgery. So whether it's a hip like I had, or a shoulder, elbow, ankle, wrist, or knee, before choosing surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner first. Go to drmarkwagnermd.com.
It's Gee and Ursula, everybody. Now, usually we do Would You Rather on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but not today, because today it turns out the blockbuster weight loss drug, Wegovy, might be doing something even bigger than shrinking waistlines. A massive new study in The Lancet found Wegovy lowered the risk of heart attacks and strokes by 20%. But here's the kicker. Only about 1/3 of that benefit can be explained by weight loss itself. So what are they saying that's behind the rest? Doctors really aren't sure, but some of them have come out and said that it could be reduced inflammation, lower blood pressure, better blood sugar control, or something else entirely. Researchers say this changes how we should think about these drugs. Wegovy and its cousins, like Ozempic, might not just be weight loss meds anymore. They can actually potentially be heart protectors. The FDA has already approved Wegovy to reduce cardiovascular risk in some patients, but the drugs are still too expensive for far too many people. Ursula, your thoughts on this?
Well, as someone who, I hate putting out my personal business, but I'll just say, as someone who uses a weight loss medication, a different one, not Wegovy, I will tell you that, yeah, absolutely, there are positive health consequences. Otherwise, you wouldn't be willing to pay, in some cases, around $1,000 a month or $500 a month, just depending on how much your insurance covers. And we're talking about, this is a once a week kind of drug. So yeah, and it used to be, first it was initially for diabetes, and now as they find out more and more, they're realizing, oh, it has these great positive effects for these other things, like reducing heart inflammation or being good for your heart, or just losing weight helps your heart health, period. So now we're reducing diabetes, we're reducing your heart issues, joint issues, all these different things that come along with weight loss. But yet there's still so much that, we don't know. I will say that they have to carry these warnings that go along with it, because there are other health consequences that go along with it. I mean, so on the one hand, you use these drugs and they can have dramatic results, but you're also at risk of things like, there's a warning for thyroid cancer or pancreatitis or gallbladder problems or stomach paralysis. These are all things that have been linked in some cases. So again, I would just say that the important thing is to work with your doctor. I hope, though, that insurance companies start seeing, like, hey, it makes more sense to actually pay and not make people go broke by trying to pay for these very, very expensive drugs, when ultimately it's going to help everybody by reducing costs.
Before you weighed in on your opinion on this, you just quickly shared about your personal experience with this. Okay. So I hope I'm within my boundaries when I'm going to talk about something.
I won't be offended.
Okay. Thank you. From my observation of you, just mine.
Yes.
Usually I make fun and I say things like, hey, Ursula is this new Ursula because she does a show with me every day. Now, let me just be serious for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I have noticed the weight loss on you, but I'll tell you what else I've noticed. I've noticed your energy.
Yes.
I've noticed what you do after work.
Yes.
Before it used to be go home and go to sleep.
Yes.
Now it's you're going to lunches, you're doing all those things.
Yes.
I noticed that you have more of a glow today than you had previous.
It's true.
I notice you seem, and your energy seems like you're younger today than Ursula of 15 years ago.
Agree.
So
I will say it is life-changing. If you can take, but again, I mentioned there are other risks. And also there's a humongous expense if you don't have, the ability to have insurance pay.
Yeah.
And just the last doctor visit that I had, she said, I think there's going to be a loosening on this because we're seeing so many positive effects.
Yeah.
It's not the answer to all, by the way. You still have to do other things to do the weight loss.
But sometimes, like, that's the thing about the weight loss part. Like, it's not necessary. Like, I don't know, right? I'm not an expert, but the weight loss can't always be attributed to just the drug itself. Meaning, I think some of your weight loss is due to you have more energy to do more things, and so you're doing more.
Yes, and I'll just be honest. There's more that I could still be doing to have even more weight loss.
Yeah.
But
All right, good stuff.
In any case, I mean, the number of people who are on these medications is
It's going
astounding.
up. There's a lot of news. So what do you want to do at 10 o'clock? You call it.
We're going to get an update on the major in the Pierce County Sheriff's Office who is now charged in connection with that injury accident where he ended up going with his wife and left the scene. And then only later, the State Patrol said it was very obvious that he'd been drinking.
Okay. So we'll do that next.
Yes.
Gee Ursula.
Cancer impacts so many families, including mine. Former Washington Husky Mario Bailey here. My mother was treated for cancer at UW Medicine. As devastating as cancer is, there is hope because the Cancer Vaccine Institute is developing vaccines to treat and prevent the deadliest cancers. Patients who received vaccines over 20 years ago are still alive today. Please join me and make a donation to the Cancer Vaccine Institute at local Safeway stores. Learn more at uwcvi.org.
If you have Medicaid and are new to Medicare, you may qualify to enroll in a Humana Medicare Advantage dual-eligible special needs plan with a lot more benefits like dental, vision, and hearing, along with helpful support when you need it most. Now is the time to see if you qualify to enroll. It only takes a few minutes to find out if you're eligible. Our licensed sales agents are ready to help you understand your options. So this Medicare planning season, we can help you plan well. Learn more at humanaduals.com. Humana, a more human way to healthcare. Humana is a dual-eligible special needs HMO SNP plan with a Medicare contract and a contract with the state Medicaid program. Enrollment in any Humana plan depends on contract renewal.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
Every time I turn around, my friends at Pure Talk give me one more reason to feel good about switching. This month, for instance, they're supporting Canines for Warriors, a terrific organization that trains rescue dogs and then pairs them up with combat veterans struggling with PTSD. The result? They're saving lives on both ends of the leash. This is why I switched to Pure Talk. I like being in business with an American wireless company who shares my values. Yeah, I appreciate unlimited talk, text, and plenty of 5G data for just $25 a month, and I bet you will too. But I think you'll really appreciate doing business with a company who gives back to the men and women who volunteered to defend our country. Just dial pound 250, say micro. With Pure Talk's U.S. customer service team, you can switch in as little as 10 minutes. Again, dial pound 250, say micro, to switch to an American wireless company who actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
We are Harnish Auto Family, and this month we've partnered with Mobile Memo Northwest. For every test drive you take, we'll make a donation on your behalf. Come on over this month and stand with us in the fight against breast cancer. Harnish Auto Family, where people matter.
KIRO FM and HD1 Tacoma, Seattle. This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Eggland's Best.
I'm Steve Kathan. A full court press by law enforcement has led to charges against more than 30 people, including an NBA coach and player.
I'm Peter King. One investigation involves rigged bets based on inside information about NBA injuries.
Defendants used this non-public information to place hundreds of thousands of dollars in fraudulent bets.
Prosecutor Joseph Nocella says that translated into tens of millions of dollars in payoffs. Miami Heat guard Terry Rozier was arrested in Orlando this morning. Portland Trail Blazers coach Chauncey Billups is one of dozens picked up for participating in poker games that were run in part by organized crime, attracting bettors to play with former stars only to get fleeced.
On social media, San Francisco's mayor says President Trump told him he's called off any plans for a federal deployment in that city. Word that a deployment was coming had rallied opponents.
We are just here to express support for our neighbors, our spouses, our community members, our kids, friends, parents.
The president has issued a new pardon for a key figure in the world of crypto.
Changpeng Zhao, who created the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange, served prison time for failing to stop people from using his platform to launder money connected to child sex abuse, drug trafficking, and terrorism. The founder of Binance also has deep ties to World Liberty Financial, which was launched by President Trump and his family. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt stated there were, quote, no allegations of fraud or identifiable victims, unquote. Zhao did plead guilty to failing to maintain an anti-money laundering program. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, Washington.
The European Union has slapped new sanctions on Russia a day after President Trump sanctioned the country's two largest oil companies. CBS's Natalie Brand.
Russian strikes this week targeted civilian sites, including a kindergarten in Ukraine's second largest city. The administration has now imposed new sanctions on Russia's two largest oil companies, saying it's the result of Russia's lack of a serious commitment to a peace process.
The trade war with China and tariff policy are affecting life down on the farm. John Boyd Jr., president of the National Black Farmers Association, is concerned.
Farm bankruptcies are on the rise, farm foreclosures on the rise, farm suicide is on the rise, and the president continues to say his tariffs are helping us.
The administration is bringing back essential workers at the Agriculture Department who've been impacted by the shutdown and unfreezing some federal aid to farmers. Checking Wall Street, right now the Dow Jones Industrial Average is up 125 points. The S&P is up 38. This is CBS News.
Nothing makes a gathering great like Eggland's Best eggs. They're just so delicious, with better nutrition, too. For us, it's eggs any style, as long as they're the best. Eggland's Best.
A key Seattle destination reopens, but first, KIRO Newsradio traffic. In Shoreline, a crash is blocking all lanes on State Route 523 westbound. This is also known as North 145th Street. Your block is at 8th Avenue Northeast. That's along Jackson Park Golf Course. WashDOT says the wreck's been cleared from State Route 18 westbound near the Tiger Mountain Summit, but a lane is still blocked while they repair the guardrail. There's about a 3-mile backup there. Traffic brought to you by Global Credit Union, where members enjoy no-fee accounts and early payday with direct deposit. Learn more at globalcu.org.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. Seattle police say they've identified a suspect in a broad daylight stabbing. It happened yesterday on 3rd Avenue in Pioneer Square. The victim waved down cops and told them a man had asked him for drugs. And when he said he didn't have any, he got stabbed. Police still searching for the driver who hit and killed a pedestrian in Ballard at 15th Avenue and 73rd Street. Detective Eric Munoz says the 56-year-old victim was found in the road last night, not in a crosswalk.
I don't know exactly the position that the pedestrian was in, but I do know they were crossing the street diagonally southbound when they were struck by that vehicle.
Police are looking for a silver sedan that likely has front end damage. New Seattle cops could earn nearly $120,000 in their first year if the city council approves a new contract agreement. And KIRO News Radio's James Lynch adds,
it takes the Community Assisted Response and Engagement Department, or CARE team, from a pilot program to a permanent part of public safety in Seattle. Seattle Mayor Bruce Harrell.
A permanent co-equal third pillar of our public safety system. Joining, of course, our police and fire as essential first responders.
CARE responds to calls for service for those experiencing a behavioral health crisis. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Engineers are assessing the damage to the Bullfrog overpass on westbound I-90 near Cle-Elum after an overheight truck rammed into it. For now, WashDOT's Megan Lott says the route remains closed.
We do see about 17,000 drivers going westbound. And we do see about 1,500 vehicles traveling over the overpass every day. So it is going to have an impact on drivers.
Governor Ferguson says we should learn no later than Monday how long the freeway will be closed. In King County, Mpox cases are on the rise. KIRO 7 TV's Zell Thomas reports.
There were 45 new cases reported in September. That is the highest number since the initial outbreak back in 2022. Public Health is encouraging those who are eligible to get the 2-shot Mpox vaccine series. You can learn more about the demographics of those most impacted on the county's public health website.
After months of renovation and exhibit upgrades, Seattle's Pacific Science Center is officially back open. The center's grand reopening features the new exhibit Spiders from Fear to Fascination. Reduced admission runs through November 20th. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Cloudy skies today with highs in the low 60s. It's 57 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio App. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
It's Gee and Ursula. Happy Thursday, October 23rd. Appreciate you all hanging out for the Gee and Ursula Show. If you listen at the 9 o'clock hour, yes, I finally got the date right. I was wondering why my co-host Ursula was looking at me different this morning when I was talking, but yeah, there's that. If you're new to the show, thank you for being here. I'd like to ask you where you've been, but glad you're here. And then if you have always been here, thank you.
And especially if you've been here since day one. And again, I get so tickled when someone texts in or sends us an email and tells us, I've been here since day one.
Because
day one was kind of rough.
Hey, day one was kind of rough. And by the way, in life, your day ones, think about it. You don't have that many day ones in your life. And there's some day one Gee and Ursula Show listeners.
Yes.
Very few, though. I'm not saying that few.
That's a really strong core.
I mean, meaning you stayed day one, and then as you remember, on day 45, it was COVID.
Oh, that's
so
true.
you hung with us through the pandemic?
Yes.
And you came out on the other side?
Yes. But again, I thank you, and if today is your day one, I sure appreciate you joining us. Mm-hmm. Text us at 888-973-5476, 888-973-KIRO.
What's new at 10?
And as we said, we have a super packed show for you, so we're going to get right into this next story. A Pierce County Sheriff's Major has now been charged with 2 counts of vehicular assault, DUI, after a crash in Graham this summer that left a pregnant woman and several others seriously injured. His name is Chadwick Dickerson. He's accused of failing to yield at an uncontrolled intersection in July. And according to court filings, he told investigators that he had 2 vodka sodas while he had been golfing earlier that day, and he also refused field sobriety tests. And instead of being transported by ambulance, which would normally happen, Dickerson's wife later took him to urgent care, where that is when a state patrol investigator noticed that he had bloodshot, watery eyes and reeked of alcohol. Now, a blood sample taken about 3 to 4 hours after that crash, we now have the results. And his BAC level was 0.091. Again, that was almost 4 hours after the crash. It's also important to point out that a Pierce County deputy on the scene did not observe signs of impairment. It is also important to point out that Chad Dickerson oversees all criminal investigations. So now, remember, 5 days after that crash, we interviewed Pierce County Sheriff Keith Swank, and we asked him whether Dickerson had gotten special treatment.
He spoke on the phone. He did not see. He spoke on the phone with Major Dickerson. After he spoke with him, this major called me up to tell me about what happened. I asked if there's any signs of impairment. He said he did not detect any by speech.
So again, that was also weird. Determining there was no sign of impairment by a conversation instead of your deputies at the scene. Well, anyway, the State Patrol's investigation also notes there was a significant delay in state troopers getting to the scene. And by then, all the debris had already been cleared. Again, unusual. And that a sheriff's supervisor's body camera was turned off for about 14 minutes while speaking with Dickerson and making multiple phone calls. Now, though, he's been charged, and he also has been on administrative leave.
First of all, I'm looking forward to the day that Pierce County gets better leadership when it comes to the Pierce County Sheriff's Department. Their leader, Sheriff Keith Swank, is absolutely awful. He spends his time doing any and everything but being a leader for his sheriff's department. That's number one. Number two, this does not surprise me that nearly 4 hours later, after blood work is done, after the State Patrol comes and makes an assessment and does their due diligence, even after a deputy that was on the scene allowed this major to be picked up by his wife and driven away. That was sketchy in the first place. You got to ask yourself, I wonder if this would have been called in if technology didn't exist during that time. The entire thing stunk. Thankfully, Washington State Patrol was on top of things, thankfully. You know, it's the same Washington State Patrol that was badmouthed by the sheriff of Pierce County, Keith Swank. He badmouthed them. So this same State Patrol was on top of their game, making sure that the public is safe. Because this is a public safety issue when you have a major doing these kind of things. When you have a major that it caused harm to another family. So if not for that State Patrol doing their due diligence, showing up to that urgent care and making sure, assessing the situation and saying,
and not being influenced.
And not being influenced at all, doing their job. Oh, by the way, come to find out 4 hours later, it was 0.091 in this situation. I just wonder now what's going to happen.
Well, it's a Class B felony in our state when it involves substantial bodily harm. Potential sentence is up to 10 years in prison if convicted. Potential fine is up to $20,000. Now, it could even be worse because there was DUI involved, alleged DUI involved. And again, he's now on administrative leave. Obviously, he deserves due process, but I would hope that he would not continue to be able to work as a Pierce County Sheriff's Major. Obviously,
why wouldn't he be? Why wouldn't he be? Because
he is charged now with a Class B felony, and if convicted, he could be facing serious time in prison. Mm-hmm. And again, when Keith Swank talked about State Patrol, he said he basically tried to delegitimize the agency and said, that's essentially he said it's not a real agency. Again, kudos to the State Patrol for doing this investigation. And I would suggest that maybe the deputies who were at the scene when Major Dickerson was there, either they were giving him special treatment or they need additional training.
Also, remember the conversation that the sheriff had with us 5 days after this, it was during that time that Keith Swank actually gave advice to the public and gave advice to the public.
This one.
First off, you should never do field sobriety tests. I don't know why you did that, even if you drink or not.
Oh, you had the sound.
Yeah, I had to go back.
Oh,
to
you
it.
had
Yes.
you had the sound.
Yes.
Like this is a sheriff. So
He
now
called
you
me
all,
silly for agreeing to do a field sobriety
now
test.
you all wonder why you will continue to hear about officers leaving the Pierce County Sheriff's Department because of that leadership. And you'll also hear the reason, the person that he defeated, who is now the interim chief for Tacoma PD, there's a reason why officers are heading over to Tacoma.
A new Investigate West report is raising some serious questions about how the Mercer Island School District has now handled repeated allegations of sexual misconduct by teachers and about a school culture that may have helped it. The investigation published by Crosscut centers on Curtis Johnson, a longtime Mercer Island High School English teacher, and school records show that back in 2001, administrators called a meeting after there were concerns that Johnston was having an inappropriate relationship with a student. And the meeting notes say the goal was, this is a quote, to protect Curtis and the district. Now, Johnston insists that he was just a father figure to this student, but that student, now in her 30s, has come forward to say the relationship was sexual and began during her senior year when he was 44 years old. And she says the school ignored multiple warnings from her mom, from friends, and even a church counselor. And Johnston continued teaching for another 14 years and then quietly retired this summer, just days after Investigate West exposed a similar case involving another English teacher. Do you remember we talked about this? That teacher, Gary Chris Twombly, was accused of sexually exploiting a 17-year-old student in 2015, and police referred the case to prosecutors last year. They said there was strong enough evidence to file charges, but they didn't because the statute of limitations had expired, G. So hearing this, I mean, and again, this I want to say, Investigate West, this is published by Crosscut, excellent investigation, another example of why we cannot get rid of local journalism. But these two cases show, I would say, a pattern.
You're right.
An
Ursula.
alarming one.
There is a pattern. I want to make sure I was listening right, because I have to be honest with you. When you started with this news, I just all of a sudden, it's 10:15 right now, and I got tired. And I got tired of just this news that happens in front of our face. I got tired because I continue to listen on television and on social media and how people demonize the trans community, and people demonize people that are undocumented, and they demonize and tell you who the threats are in our communities. And yet every single time you hit me with news of the very people born right here on this soil committing these acts. And then not only are they committing these acts, that there are people that help cover for these things. So my question back to you is, Ursula, when you were talking about this, he goes on to work 14 more years. 14 more years. During that time, I'm assuming, what about the people that were administrators? What about the people that were connected to this? Are they still working in the school system?
Well, great question. And also the idea that there was a meeting and the goal was to protect the teacher and the district. That was that was a quote from the notes. And then you come to find out that, there were these two teachers.
Okay.
In the same department. And you ask, how does this happen? Or why does this happen?
Right.
And too often it is the district worried about liability, too worried about reputation. I mean, Mercer Island School District, I think most of us know it has an excellent reputation.
Yep.
Well, according to this article, they also have a reputation for unique relationships between students and teachers, where students are often treated by teachers as peers. Now, the girl who was taken advantage of by this teacher, she was his teaching assistant. The other teacher who was alleged to have committed similar acts also had a teaching assistant. They would all hang out in this space in the school called the Man Cave, where students would just regularly hang out with teachers. They'd make them coffee, bring them lunch. They'd help with, their kids' birthday cards.
Blurring the lines.
And this guy, Curtis, People observed the behavior. He took her home from prom. He spent 3 days alone with her on an international trip in Vietnam when she was sick. They were witnessed together outside of school. They were texting all the time. There are kids in the district that tell Investigate West that it was completely normal for students to be texting back and forth with teachers, and they didn't think about it anything at the time. And this is 2011.
I just want, I'm asking the question. They were part of this meetings and these emails. Is there anybody that is a part of that email and these meetings that are currently still teaching or in the school districts today?
Yes. So the principal at the time, his name is John Harrison. He is now the chief of staff for the Bellevue School District. The school's
different district.
Yes, different district. The school's HR director, I believe it's Mark Roshi, is now the HR director in the Edmonds School District. These are the people that were included on the meeting to protect the teacher and the district. And they declined to comment for this story. But I know that
the superintendent of Mercer Island did say something.
Yes.
The superintendent says the district is now reviewing all policies on staff and student boundaries and mandatory reporting now, only because this has come out.
In the prior case with Twombly, the district had said, well, we received an anonymous tip about a relationship between a student and teacher, so we really couldn't pursue it based on just an anonymous tip. And an expert who Investigate West spoke to said that's utterly bogus. You have to investigate everything, not just slide it under the rug.
Now, these came to the surface. How often do you think this happens and it never comes to the surface? And I ask this because as we were driving in and talking about our stories of the day, I shared with you that when I was in high school, now that was many moons ago, 1982, 1983, I knew that our band/music teacher was having a relationship, an inappropriate relationship with one of my classmates, one of my choir mates. And she was under the age of 18. Yes, she told me she was madly in love with him. And despite all of us telling her this should not be happening, as a married man, he's taking advantage of you, et cetera, et cetera. People knew.
Wow.
And I know that you have shared that something similar happened when you were in school.
Yeah. What bothers me is the monsters that are out here today, right? We talk about the Epsteins. We'll talk about this person or that person. And oh my goodness, this person. These different monsters. What do we call the people that turn a blind eye? What do we call the people that support them? No, I'm going to call them more than complicit. Because listen, if you know something is going on and you know that some of these babies are being taken advantage of by teachers.
Yeah, you're also monsters.
Yes. And wait a minute. Here's one more thing before we move on. Do you know how many times in my lifetime that I've heard of people not being able to get a job because when they went to go take a P test, they didn't pass because it was marijuana in their system? You know how many times?
My late brother was one of those.
They couldn't get a job. But you're talking about people that were connected to this topic that have now moved on and continue to get gainfully employed. So my anger right now is, one, nothing happened. And that teacher went on to teach 14 more years.
Disgusting.
2, the people that were connected to it, allegedly,
they're worried about covering their butts instead of addressing it.
But they fail forward.
Yeah.
Like life is better today. But yet, meanwhile, somebody named Tyrone couldn't get a job because they couldn't pass the P test.
And the young woman this happened to said it really destroyed her life, this relationship. Oh, you forgot, G. Both of these teachers retired, so they're still getting their pensions.
206 texted in, as someone who grew up on Mercer Island, went to school there through high school, and I and have a son that attended through high school as well. I guarantee these are not the only 2 cases of this sort of behavior. I still live there, and money talks. Now, that's a whole different kind of reputation for Mercer Island than that superintendent and all those who failed the students before are going to need to do a whole lot better.
I just wonder how far they'll investigate a story like this, or does it even matter? Coming up next here on the Gee and Ursula Show, well, over 930,000 people could lose SNAP benefits by the end of the month. Happy Halloween, Gee and Ursula.
This hour is brought to you by Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington.
I can't wait till I get a little older.
The John Curley Show.
I get a little bit more hair in my ears.
Weekdays 3 to 7.
And I can be the really crotchety old guy that can say to people in restaurants, "Why don't you get your kid off the phone?"
You can do that now.
No, I'm not there yet. I'm getting close to being eccentric. As my mom used to say, I don't make enough money to be eccentric. I'm just middle-class crazy right now.
Watch the John Curley Show live on YouTube. Weekdays 3 to 7. And download the KIRO Newsradio app.
Cancer impacts so many families, including mine. Former Washington Husky Mario Bailey here. My mother was treated for cancer at UW Medicine. As devastating as cancer is, there is hope, because the Cancer Vaccine Institute is developing vaccines to treat and prevent the deadliest cancers. Patients who received vaccines over 20 years ago are still alive today. Please join me and make a donation to the Cancer Vaccine Institute at local Safeway stores. Learn more at uwcvi.org.
Get set for fall entertaining with incredible deals at Dania Furniture. The fall entertaining sale features huge savings on select furniture and decor for every space, from dining and living rooms to guest spaces ready for overnight stays. Refresh your home today and make it holiday ready just in time for the gathering season ahead, but only for a limited time. Dania Furniture. We make it simple, you make it home. Stop by your local showroom today or shop online at daniafurniture.com.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
All right, here's a quick confession. The reason Nick, my wife, is going to Longevity Medical Clinic is because why?
I got sick of watching you sleep at night when I was awake.
Wait a minute. Wait. Here's what would happen. I'd be asleep because I've got my hormones balanced thanks to Longevity Medical Clinic. I'm asleep, and then Nick would go, "Are you asleep? Are you sleeping? That's not fair. I can't sleep." I'm like, "So you're going to wake me up?"
Yes, because I didn't want you to have more energy than I would the next day, and I was up all night.
So what did I say to you? I said, so go to the Longevity Medical Clinic. Do the same thing I did. Get your hormones balanced. You'll sleep sleep better, right?
And I did.
Right. You don't have to wake me up anymore and go, it's not fair that you're sleeping.
I know.
But didn't you see that it wasn't fair that you were waking me up?
Yes, because now you're the one taking the dogs out because I'm still asleep in the morning.
So we're both getting good night's sleep. We're both getting lots of energy, and we're happy.
You want me to tell you why? Because my hormones are now balanced.
Okay, I don't want to hear about your hormones right now. So be like Nick and get a free health analysis at lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
Fall rains can expose hidden roof problems, and once water gets in, the damage only gets worse. Is your roof ready for the season? Hi, Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. At State Roofing and Exteriors, we repair and replace roofs with a quality you've trusted for decades. And yes, we also provide siding, windows, decks, and gutters to keep your entire home protected. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today to schedule a free estimate. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
Homes are sitting, but the bottleneck is about to break. Set yourself up for success by working with a team that doesn't just set up your listings and let it sit. The Novak team creates a marketing strategy that's hands down proven successful. Mike sold over 1,500 homes and guarantees to sell your home in 21 days. If Mike doesn't get your home under contract within 21 days, he sells it for free. That is no commission for Mike. Go to meetthenovaks.com. That's meetthenovaks, NOVAKS.com.
Experience the thrill of seeing orcas and humpback whales with Puget Sound Express. Join their family-run tours for guaranteed whale sightings, departing daily from Edmonds. These are Seattle's most popular and well-reviewed whale tours. Book now at PugetSoundExpress.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. Some prominent NBA names are among more than 30 people arrested in 2 federal gambling investigations. More from CBS's Peter King.
One investigation involves rigged bets based on inside information about NBA injuries.
Defendants used this non-public information to place hundreds of thousands of dollars in fraudulent bets.
Miami Heat guard Terry Rozier was arrested in Orlando this morning. Portland Trail Blazers coach Chauncey Billups is one of dozens picked up for participating in poker games that were run in part by organized crime, attracting bettors to play with former stars only to get fleeced. Peter King, CBS News, Orlando.
President Trump releases a list of donors helping to build his new ballroom, and that list includes several Seattle area-based businesses. CBS's Linda Kenyon.
Those donors include Apple, Amazon, Meta, and Google, which have all taken steps to strengthen ties with the administration. Others include Comcast Corporation, Microsoft, Lockheed Martin, T-Mobile, Union Pacific Railroad.
At $300 million, the cost and size of the ballroom are larger than first thought, with what appears to be the entire east wing of the White House being torn down to make room. The federal government remains shut down, and if this continues into November, nearly 930,000 Washington residents may lose access to SNAP food benefits. KIRO 7 TV's Samantha Lomibow is at the West Seattle Food Bank with more.
The food bank's executive director, Fran Yates, tells me they're already struggling to keep shelves stocked.
We're getting food, but still not enough.
SNAP benefits help ease that pressure. Without SNAP, Yates says they're preparing for a lot more demand.
The Everett City Council has delayed a vote on whether to renew a law that deters homeless camps by banning sitting or lying down in parts of downtown Everett. The council wants more data about who's getting cited under the law. Council members did approve new stay out of drug areas or soda zones near downtown. Pierce County Sheriff's Major Chad Dickerson's been charged now with 2 counts of vehicular assault DUI after a crash that injured a child and grandmother in July. He refused to take sobriety field tests at the time. Sheriff Swank told KIRO News Radio's Gee and Ursula he was not surprised.
First off, you should never do a field sobriety test. I don't know why you did that, even if you drink or not.
The results of his blood alcohol level just came back from the lab, and Dickerson's blood alcohol level was over the legal limit. On Wall Street, the Dow is up 117 points, NASDAQ ahead 181. KIRO News Radio traffic in Shoreline, a crash is blocking all lanes on State Route 523 or North 145th Street, westbound at 8th Avenue Northeast. WashDOT says the wreck's been cleared from State Route 18 westbound near the Tiger Mountain Summit, but a lane is still closed while they repair the guardrail. There's about a 3-mile backup. Traffic brought to you by Subaru of Puyallup. One thing that's stress-free, pricing on over 300 new Subarus with easy financing. At Subaru of Puyallup, your stress-free dealership. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Cloudy skies with highs in the low 60s. It's 57 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show. It is already 10:34 on this Thursday morning. Just a reminder, we've got an election coming up in less than 2 weeks. And if at first you don't succeed, try again. That is what the Yelm School District is doing as they plead with voters. Please pass a levy that has already failed with voters 3 times. And right now, they claim the future of football is now on the line. After the levy failed for the 3rd time last year, more than 100 teachers, paraeducators, and staff were laid off. Drama was cut, choir was cut, and Yelm Superintendent Chris Woods tells King 5 News football and band could be on the chopping block next.
We don't get any funding from the state for athletics, and we've tried to maintain it through these failed levy attempts, but we're to the place now where we're not going to be able to maintain athletics and activities as we've had them.
And the superintendent calls the potential loss of these extracurricular activities heartbreaking.
Things like music, the arts, athletics, we know that those are hooks for many of our students. That's what keeps them coming back every day. That's what keeps them interested in being in school, but also the relationships that they build with staff.
Now, this parent that King 5 News spoke with says he can't afford the extra money that the levy would cost him. He also doesn't believe that athletic programs are going to be cut.
So the levy is really the only way somebody like me can fight back, and I'm clawing just to keep my home. I got $100 that says they got football when this levy fails next year, and I'll bet you right now.
Now, the superintendent empathizes with voters who feel tapped out with taxes, but he says, you know what? This is the district's only option.
Levies are the one tax that we have say in, and it's the one tax that stays in our community. My hope is that that this community comes together for our students, if nothing else.
So for those listeners who might be living in Yelm, residents in that district would pay an additional $1.30 for every $1,000 of assessed property value, which is less than what previous levies had asked for. So they're hoping to maybe soften the blow for a home valued at $600,000. That is about, let's say, $800 per year or around $65 a month.
Hey, Ursula, in the state of Washington, what are the 2 main ways that the state of Washington gets its money?
Property taxes.
And?
Sales taxes.
Come on. That's the system, y'all. That's the way it is here in this state. And it will not change because that's it. It's property tax and it's sales tax. On our show, you and I, we have been talking about, there used to be a time that people, including you, would always, yes, on these levies in your district. Yes. Now, it's not so much. Now we are hearing about districts where the people are saying, no, I'm done. No, I'm tired of Ursula starting off the news telling me about another tax. So I'm saying no. So my question now is, because for some reason, every time this topic comes up, it feels like we hit a brick wall. Here's my question. If they keep saying no on levies, now what? What's the plan, y'all?
Yeah, they may be forced to think of something dramatically different, or will they actually cut football? And maybe it's one of those mess around and find out kind of moments.
It is. And interesting, I want to also go back to something that we have also talked about on this show. I tell you all, football. That is what gets folks' attention. Not the threat and loss of the science lab, not the threat.
Sometimes drama departments, that'll get people going too. Okay, that's what I've seen. That is just what I've seen. But football for sure.
But they're going to lead with
It's
football.
the moneymaker.
It's the Friday. So the thought.
Yeah. Y'all might not have Friday night lights.
Absolutely. So guess what? Let's just say Yelm, which, by the way, Yelm, I would love for you all to have this levy passed. I would love for you all to get the money. Problem is, the people are saying, I'm tired of it. Now, let's just say Yelm said, oh, listen, we do have to get rid of football. That's not just getting rid of football. That's getting rid of Friday night lights. That's getting rid of a tradition, a community.
In a small community.
So here's my question. So here, someone has a son or a daughter that's in 8th grade, and the threat is starting to get real about football going away. How motivated do you think that family is to want to go to that school? Hence the reason why private schools right now have a huge waiting list. This is something we don't want this.
Yeah, well, you'll find out. It's the voters of Yelm will be deciding how much they want it. And that's the question. And that's not just for Yelm, though. That's for every school district. Every school.
Al in Yelm just texted us, Ursula.
And what did he say? I'm
a no vote.
There you go.
I'm a no.
Well, and I'm going to guess maybe Al at this point doesn't have kids still in the district. I mean, that's another big factor. Unless you are directly impacted, for some people, it's like, you know what? Okay. I'm curious, though, if you have traditionally been a yes on school levies for most of your adult life, your voting life, and now you've changed. What has changed that for you? I want you to text us 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO, because maybe we can help open the eyes up. Because for some, it's like maybe it's a lack of information and education on these particular levies. For others, though, I think there's just this feeling like, yeah, I am tapped out. I don't feel like you're doing well with the money that you already have, and now I'm a no.
I don't know the answer, and whatever your answers are, I'm sure they're subjective. You have all your reasonings. But I want to take one shot at this. Do you remember, even here on these airwaves, for an amount of time, do you remember the demonization of teachers? Do you remember here how in this state so many talked and just badmouth teachers, talked about how they don't do anything, talked about their summers and they get this amount of time off? I know you remember.
Yeah, I absolutely do. So I'm curious. I mean, is that it, that you don't support teachers? What is it? Why are you going to be a no vote today when you were not in the past? Text us.
Steve just texts.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm in the Yelm district. I will continue to vote no.
Why, though, Steve? I want to know why.
Yeah, Steve, why?
Yeah, why is it? So we'll share some of that as the information comes in. But coming up next.
It says scenarios, but you want me to do scenarios?
Okay, well, text us. Do you want us to do scenarios or more news?
Yep.
I think we need to do scenarios.
Okay. All right.
And then we'll regroup because we'll have a lot more hard news coming up at 11.
All right. Gee Ursula.
A KIRO Newsradio exclusive.
This is Charlie Harder. I've spent the past 6 weeks investigating a story involving a youth pastor, child abuse, a mayor, and a name change, all while civic leaders appear to look the other way.
I've read the police report. It is horrible. It is sickening.
There's some level of calculation there.
You have to make it right.
How does no one have a problem with it?
Watch the full story at mynorthwest.com and the KIRO Newsradio YouTube page.
I love to get out of the city. I love to head for the mountains, the coast, or wherever the road goes. And my 2016 Outback from Carter Subaru has taken me there for years, and it is still running strong. If you are ready for your next adventure, Carter Subaru, Seattle's only Subaru dealership, has the largest selection of Subarus in our state, including more than 250 Crosstreks. And right now, you can get 1.9% financing for 60 months on the new 2025 Crosstrek. So gear up for fall, rain or shine, and visit Carter Subaru in Shoreline or Ballard or online at cartersubaru.com.
On approved credit, subject to vehicle insurance and availability. A documentary service fee may be added to the sale price or capitalized cost. See dealer for details. Valid through 10/31/25.
Looking for a high school that nurtures both the mind and spirit?
Archbishop Murphy High School is where academic excellence meets faith-based education. With a 100% graduation rate and a college prep program designed to challenge and inspire, our students are prepared for whatever the future holds. But it's more than just academics. Archbishop Murphy's robust athletics, arts, and co-curricular activities ensure that every student finds their passion and thrives. Archbishop Murphy High School believes in educating the whole person. That's why we offer a vibrant campus life where students grow not only academically, but also spiritually, socially, and physically. Don't just take our word for it. See it for yourself. Schedule a visit and discover how Archbishop Murphy High School can help your students succeed. Visit am-hs.org. IRG Physical and Hand Therapy proudly supports Archbishop Murphy High School, where your story begins. am-hs.org.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
Now is your time to get into a new D.R. Horton home by taking advantage of its National Red Tag Sales Event, now extended through October 26th. Stop by any of its participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. So whether you're buying your first home or looking for an upgrade, you don't want to miss the Red Tag Sales Event, extended to October 26th. Discover the D.R. Horton difference at drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder and equal housing opportunity builder.
Carpoolers using the SR 167 Express toll lanes now need a Flex Pass set to HOV mode to ride free. That's a change. Having Good to Go always costs less than pay by mail. That is not a change. Learn more at goodtogo167.com.
Health insurance is broken, but it doesn't have to be. That's why Scan Health Plan was founded as a nonprofit, so we can create Medicare Advantage plans that focus on the real needs of seniors. We've been people first since 1977, and we're here to make Medicare work hard for you, because you deserve more than a broken system. You deserve a plan that fights for you. Visit scandifference.org to learn more. Scan Health Plan is an HMO plan with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Scan Health Plan depends on contract renewal.
The Tacoma Holiday Festival, presented by Puyallup Chocolates, is October 23rd through 26th at the Tacoma Dome. Buy tickets at holidaygiftshows.com.
With football season comes cooler weather, so if you need new windows and doors, don't drop the ball. Steve Rabel here. Call on locally owned Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington to tackle your project. Their wide selection of windows and doors always beats the competition, and they'll give you top-notch customer service with no trick plays. Schedule a free consultation with Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Go to PellaPNW.com. That's PellaPNW.com.
Kia just dropped the biggest EV deals we've ever seen. Save thousands on the EV6, EV9, Niro EV, and more at Kia of Everett. Simple, easy, fun.
Hey, it's John Curley with some great news. If your home's heating or cooling is uneven, noisy, or expensive, listen up. The Quilt Ductless Heat Pump System from Home Comfort Alliance is changing the game. It gives you room-by-room control and next-gen efficiency, so you're only heating where you need it. That means real comfort and real savings, and every quilt system qualifies for max tax credits. Trusted for 50 years. Call the comfort people today at homecomfortalliance.com.
It is Gee Ursula Show.
We hit a nerve.
Whoa. So how are we going to do this?
We're going to, Chef's going to compile your text messages, because right now this text line looks like a slot machine, because it's just
but I'm
changing quickly. And y'all are, we asked the question, if you are a no vote on your district's school levy, why? If it's something that you used to say yes to, what is it right now? What is your reason for a no vote? And we'll share that coming up in the 11 o'clock hour.
Okay. I'm not going to say it, but I just want to say this.
Yeah, it's
There's
crazy right
so many texts coming in.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to tell you why I'm so confused with all of the text messages coming in. It's real simple. I'm really confused.
I'm seeing some trends, and I'm not confused. 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO.
I've had a bad couple of months. It started when I bought a ring for my fiance. I was sure she was as in love with me as I was with her. Exactly 8 weeks ago, I proposed, and she said no, but she didn't explain at first, which broke my heart. I didn't even call for the song. Sorry, Nick. She said she didn't want to break up with me, and she really liked our relationship, but she didn't want to be engaged and probably never would. I couldn't take it, and it sent me into kind of a depression. So 3 weeks later, I told her that I couldn't go on seeing her right now because it hurt too much to think that we were probably never going anywhere besides this. That's when she told me the reason. She told me there was someone else she was interested in and wanted to explore another relationship. Now, she says she hasn't done anything yet, but had strong feelings for someone else. This was even more devastating, and I broke it off immediately. Now, I can't forget about her, but we haven't talked. We haven't texted, but she changed her relationship status to in a relationship on social media last week. So I was curious. So I started looking carefully through her post. I'm almost positive that she's in a new relationship with another woman. Now, my friends tell me this should make me feel better and help me move on. Why do I feel worse? And I don't even know for sure if it's true. What should I do? I'm miserable. 888-973-5476 is the text line. Ursula, you have the bat first.
Okay, a couple of things. One is she told you that she wanted to have you only as a placeholder in the event that she did not find something better. You put your foot down and she found something better. That's bottom line. She just wasn't that into you. And now your feelings are hurt.
Yeah.
She has moved on. It's time for you to move on.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, Ursula, I agree with his friends. Now, y'all can call me and, call me whatever you want to. But if Lillian were to leave me, let's just say she did. If she did, I would feel a little better if it wasn't.
A different guy?
Yeah. I would feel better. That's just me.
It would not make a difference to me because her love and loyalty would be to someone other than myself.
Yeah, but it's an ego thing. It'd be ego completely in that situation. Like I said, I'm saying the quiet part out loud. I probably should have said this to you off the air, but
why start now?
Imagine proposing without knowing if the person you're proposing to wants to be proposed to or wants to get engaged. There's step one of your problem. This is gutting. This is absolutely gutting. Gee, can I be honest, man? Sometimes scenarios bums me out because, I have a really good relationship with my wife, and hearing about, the cheating partners or people getting rejected, it just hurts my soul. It's man, whoever you are out there, there's somebody that will love you and treat you right.
Yeah,
yes.
Sure.
Find that person.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what, Chef? I agree with you. You should see the cheating that goes on out there with insider trading. You should see the cheating going on in government. You should see the cheating. We can do this all day.
There's a lot of cheating.
But we're read the news? We're talking about scenarios, and you just had to go straight back to the news.
Sorry. Ursula, aren't you proud of me? Aren't you proud of me?
I am.
I'm in the news.
You have become a true news hound.
Yeah.
So much so that you're now injecting it into our scenarios. And we're talking about relationships.
I told you. I didn't want to do scenarios. I wanted to do news, but the people said we want scenarios. So how about this as scenarios? Hey, man, listen, bruh. Take this on the chin, and at least she was honest with you.
Yes.
And my wife just texted me and says, I wouldn't leave you for another woman. Well, that's a whole other conversation then. What you mean?
Lillian's
What you mean? You wouldn't leave? So what does that mean? That means you would leave me? What?
Oh.
Yeah, that's a whole
She don't
other
read too much into it. She's happy where she's at.
I hope so.
Yes.
All right, Nick, help me.
Well, to be fair, the rules were laid out on the table before the game was played, and although being known as the placeholder, it's not fun to hear. You got to know that's the plan with the other party, so I'm not going to go as far to make the girl feel bad for chasing someone else that she wants, because that's the manifested material that she was said that was going to be done.
With the other woman.
So the heart wants what the heart wants, and who knows, you might find yourself in a situation where you're telling the other lady that, so don't feel so bad, because it goes both ways.
That's a good song that you played there.
Yeah,
that's a good song.
You didn't guess it this time though. That was your.
Nope.
Hey, guess what?
Your glory days were yesterday.
He is one and done for yesterday. He guessed
try.
Ghostbusters.
I'm done
because it was such a stretch.
Same artist though.
Yeah. Hey, Ursula.
Yes.
Now we got the 11 o'clock hour coming up. Tell the people what your plan is. What you got?
Well, a couple things. One is because so many of you are weighing in, I want to share what you and your neighbors are saying right now about why they're voting the way they are with these school levies. And I'll just tell you, at least on the text line at the moment, most people are voting no. Now, that's not just Yelm, that we're just talking
All
about
over.
in general.
And that's why I'm confused.
Yes. The other thing we're going to do is we're going to update, in case you missed the exclusive story that our colleague Charlie Harger did. You have to hear the story about what Auburn's mayor did to go to bat for someone who is an admitted child sex abuser. Why she did it, and how much of a cover-up there was, and all the twists and turns in that story. So we'll have that coming up as well.
Gee Ursula.
This affair is unique. All my life I never met such a freak. She keeps me going strong for so long. When I get home.
Download the KIRO Newsradio app, where you can watch us live or stream us live anywhere, anytime.
How would this initiative, whatever this initiative is, how would he fund it?
Stay connected everywhere. Download the KIRO Newsradio app.
Hey, it's John Curley with Dr. Kopstein from K2 Vision RLE. Doc, I heard that 50% of Americans have their lenses replaced by the time they're 75.
That's exactly right, John. As we near 50, our eye's natural lens starts to become dysfunctional. If you've now added readers to your need for glasses and contacts, it's a sign the quality and function of your natural lens is fading, and it's a steady decline towards cataracts.
Don't go another 20 plus years with poor vision, hassling with contacts and readers. Do what I did. Choose a quick, painless refractive lens exchange from K2 Vision RLE and start enjoying great vision now.
Our new lens technology is truly amazing. After replacing over 100,000 lenses, we have the experience to guide each patient to their best solution, even if that's recommending you wait a little while before RLE.
K2 Vision RLE can restore distance and near vision permanently, plus never develop a cataract. Read the reviews and schedule a free Zoom consultation now at k2visionrle.com.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile with a message for everyone paying big wireless way too much. Please, for the love of everything good in this world, stop. With Mint, you can get premium wireless for just $15 a month. Of course, if you enjoy overpaying, no judgments, but that's weird. Okay, one judgment.
Visit mintmobile.com/radio.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
Remember when they used to ask, what do you want to be when you grow up? At Bank of America, we ask every day, what would you like the power to do? When you work here, you help build businesses, inspire communities, and forge legacies. And now we've raised our U.S. minimum wage to $25 an hour. So the opportunity to do more also comes with competitive pay. Learn more at bankofamerica.com/25. Bank of America, proud to be an equal opportunity employer.
If you want thick, healthy, gorgeous hair, then you need Hair Volume from New Nordic. Available at Amazon and newnordicusa.com or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well,
I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
What's better than soaking every night in a saltwater hot spring spa? Knowing you got it for an incredible price during Olympic Hot Tub's great rebate event. Save up to $4,500 on the best hot tub you can own. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Catch 10-time Grammy winner Arturo Sandoval, October 23rd through 26th at Dimitro's Jazz Alley. The Cuban trumpet legend lights up the stage with Afro-Cuban rhythms and high-energy jazz. Tickets at jazzalley.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News. This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Cammie McCormick. On day 23 of the government shutdown, Republicans and Democrats are presenting new bills to pay certain federal workers who are finding it increasingly difficult to keep up. The first Republican bill was up for a vote. It failed. Nicole Killian reports.
It would pay essential federal employees. Those are federal employees who are required to work without pay, not furloughed employees, but people like air traffic controllers or members of the military. So that's what this vote is about. Obviously, it's a tough vote for some Democrats who do support paying federal workers, which is why Senators Van Hollen and Senator Peters have put up their own counter proposal to pay federal workers.
That is expected to fail as well. For the past 30 years, the Department of Agriculture has released an annual report on hunger in America. Last month, the USDA announced it canceled the report. In Clinton, Missouri, seniors Leo and Danita Barnett have a message for Congress as they wait in line at a food bank.
Let's quit fighting. Democrats and Republicans, come on. There's people out here starving to death.
If Congress had to live on the budgets that we live on, they wouldn't survive.
There were protests today in San Francisco over the deployment of federal agents there. The mayor then said he'd spoken to President Trump, and Trump just posted he's calling off the surge for Saturday. Though he thinks it's a mistake, he ended the post by saying, "Stay tuned." Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker has announced the formation of a commission to look into alleged abuses by the Trump administration over the immigration raids in and around Chicago. He explained what the commission will be tasked with.
Creating a public record of the abuses. 2, capturing the impact on families and communities. And 3, recommending actions to prevent further harm and to pursue justice.
Some prominent names are among dozens arrested in 2 federal gambling investigations, as Peter King reports.
The NBA says a current player and coach have been placed on immediate leave after their gambling arrests. New York Police Commissioner Jessica Tisch says the Miami Heat's Terry Rozier shared information about plans to leave a game early with a supposed injury when he played for Charlotte in 2023.
Using that information, members of the group placed more than $200,000 in wagers on his under statistics.
The other probe, Portland coach Chauncey Billups, is accused of participating in mafia-run poker games that attracted star-struck bettors, then fleeced them.
On Wall Street at this hour, stocks are higher. The Dow Jones Industrial's up by 185 points. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
New Seattle cops poised for a big boost in pay. The story coming up, but first, KIRO Newsradio traffic. In Seattle, a disabled vehicle's blocking a lane on northbound I-5 near Lakeview Boulevard. In Shoreline, still seeing that crash blocking all lanes on State Route 523, also known as North 145th Street, westbound at 8th Avenue Northeast. WashDOT says the wreck's been cleared from State Route 18 westbound near Tiger Mountain, but a lane is still closed while they repair the guardrail. You are jammed up across the summit. Traffic brought to you by D.R. Horton. The D.R. Horton National Red Tag Sales event has been extended through October 26th. Visit a D.R. Horton community today.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. A major pay raise for Seattle cops if the city council approves a new contract agreement. The Seattle Times reporting starting officers would be paid nearly $120,000 in their first year, 13% more than now. SBD Chief Sean Barnes.
The agreement modernizes our wages and keeps benefits high so that we can maintain a well-staffed police department, which translates into public safety.
The agreement also makes the department's care team of behavioral health professionals permanent. They respond to non-criminal incidents like somebody experiencing a mental health crisis. Seattle police say they've arrested a suspect in a stabbing that happened in the middle of the afternoon yesterday on 3rd Avenue in Pioneer Square. The victim waved down police and told them the suspect asked him for drugs, and when he said he didn't have any, he got stabbed. Seattle police are searching for the driver who hit and killed a pedestrian in Ballard.
Seattle Police Detective Eric Munoz says the victim was crossing 15th Avenue near 73rd in Ballard Wednesday night in a spot not designated for crossing.
They were crossing the street diagonally southbound when they were struck by that vehicle.
Paramedics worked on the victim at the scene, but say he died in the street. Police say the suspect's car is a silver sedan, most likely with front-end damage. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
We should know by Monday when westbound I-90 near Cle Elum will reopen. Troopers say an overheight truck rammed into an overpass yesterday. WashDOT's Megan Lott says engineers are assessing the damage.
So that we can start putting the pieces in motion to try and figure out when we can get an emergency contract to get this fixed and repaired.
More than 17,000 vehicles use I-90 near Cle Elum each day. More than 1,500 use the overpass. Washington State Patrol troopers respond to a 911 call for a rescue on I-5. It happened yesterday in Tacoma after witnesses spotted a tiny kitten hiding in a crack under a concrete barrier. Body cam video shows 2 troopers crawling to reach her.
Good kitty.
The 1-month-old kitten weighs about a pound. They've named her Trooper. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Cloudy skies with highs in the low 60s. It's 59 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
It's the Gee and Ursula Show. Happy Thursday, October 23rd. Appreciate you all being with us. And if you're new to the show, thank you for being here. And if you've always been here, thank you for coming back. Ursula, good morning.
Good morning. We have so much news that you went out into the newsroom, and I think you were hit with even more news because you barely got back here in time.
Because boss lady said something to me.
Oh.
Earlier in the show, I mispronounced a name. Oh. I said a name. And I said Kathy. And the boss lady was like, hey.
Oh, yeah. We were talking about Mayor Nancy Backus, who we are going to be sharing that story here later in the hour. But we're switching a few things around
What you want to do?
Y'all listening right now told us exactly what is on your mind, and that is having to do with levies and why it is that you are either against or for them. And so we're going to get into that right now.
Well, we got
Text us, though.
Breakdown.
Yeah, 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. We were talking about the school levy in Yelm, which is going to go to voters again for the 4th time. And the superintendent there said if it doesn't pass, now we're talking about some serious cuts. And that would include even the football program. So our question to all of you is, if you have traditionally been someone who has voted yes on school levies and now you vote no, why the change of heart? And so we have an exact breakdown of what you guys told us. And so we're going to get into that right now.
Top stories at 11.
On the Gee and Ursula Show.
And we're also going to share some of your actual text messages. But Chef went through all of your responses, and there were dozens of responses immediately after we put out that question. And over 80% of you said you were planning to be no votes, or you are no votes when it comes to school levies. And then about 20% said you were yes. And look at the breakdown. What are the reasons, G, that they give?
So real quick, here are the different breakdowns. We have a category of financial constraint, tax fatigue. We have mismanagement, lack of accountability, ideological, cultural objection, anti-tax, structural, and pro-education. So 9 votes of no coming from the 425 Arlington, coming from Donna in Seattle, Joan in Renton, they said no. And one of the reasons is because of financial constraint and tax fatigue. Let's stop right there. I'll say this first. I believe the number one reason that levies will get no's, the number one reason why we have over 80% saying no, they will vote no on levy, is because of being taxed to death and because of every single day tax.
I agree.
That's number one.
I think financial constraints and are very limited, and we will say this is a very, very limited poll, right? But this is you amongst our listeners. Steve said, let's go with CJ in Bothell said, teachers and administrators are making 6 figures and the kids are getting the short end. Why would I give them more money? And then there is Donna in Seattle who says, no more property tax. It's just too much. The money thrown at the city has not been used effectively. Like with the homeless problem, trust is destroyed. We need an income tax. Gee. Some of the folks in Yelm, Alan Yelm says, we have a lot of good teachers, but some just put kids in front of Chromebooks. My poor adopted child has a hard time learning that way. 609 said, our property values in Yelm have tripled in 4 years, raising taxes. Over half of our property tax goes to schools. It's hard for families without kids in school to keep up. Maybe more parents should contribute extra funds.
And since we have been talking, votes are coming in right now, and you guys are continuing to say no, and I'm going to read this from the 253. I live in Yelm. I'm voting no. I'm barely surviving financially over here. I want to stop, and here's where I said to you, Ursula, that I was confused. And I'm still confused, and maybe you and the listeners can help me better understand. You all know our tax system in the state of Washington. You know the vast majority of how we receive our funds is through property tax and through sales tax.
Right.
That's a fact. And it feels and seems like every time we have this discussion, a lot of you get upset with me when I even think or sniff at the idea of a state income tax. So where I'm confused is this. If we're all taxed to death, and the most of you, 80% of you, are no on these things, how is money going to come in for the schools?
Okay, I'm going to tell you without even seeing one text come in.
Talk to me.
Again, the reason why people will say I'm not in favor of a state income tax, other than the constitutionality issues in Washington, would be that they don't trust that the state income tax would be in lieu of already the slew of other taxes that they have to pay. So it would just be an additional tax with no guarantee that other taxes would go away. So they're going to tell you, why would you vote for that?
Okay.
They don't have trust in our current government to not just keep adding more taxes in addition to the state income tax.
And I believe that answer. I believe that. And so my follow-up would be, so do we continue down this road of being taxed on everything else?
Well, that's what our state lawmakers are trying to do. I mean, we had the biggest tax increases this last legislative session.
And we're okay
Democrats
with
in
that?
Olympia.
Are we okay with that?
And who are those taxes on?
Who are those taxes on? I mean,
they're largely businesses and the richest people. None of that's allocated for schools.
This 253
gas taxes.
This 253. By the way, the person that lives in Yelm, the person that said they're voting no, they're doing this because they're barely surviving financially, to which we talk about all the time that because this is a regressively taxed state, the people in this state that hurt the most are those that lack it financially like others.
And again, I think if you could make some kind of guarantee that your other taxes are not going to keep going up, if we had a state income tax, then there might be more support for it. But right now, it's just not there. It's never been since the beginning of time, since the day that I stepped foot here at KIRO almost 40 years ago. Okay, I mean, but the other things that are coming up, the distrust of unions. James and Paulsbo said the teachers' unions will never allow the administrative reform that actually needs to happen. And a couple of people have mentioned, hey, whatever happened to all the lottery money? Wasn't lottery money supposed to go to schools? But what I'm seeing over and over and over again is that there are just people who are exhausted by
taxes.
Can I address the lotto question? Because we see this one almost every time that it comes up with schools. Lotto revenue in Washington state is about $190 million a year. The total budget for schools in the state is about $40 billion. So lottery money, because I don't recall that vote, I was very young. If people told you that would fix education, that was absolutely not true. Does the money go towards education? Yes, but it is simply a drop in the bucket.
Mm. Okay. Jacob from the 253 says, I work for a large local school district and I always vote no. Districts are too top heavy. How many people make more than $100,000 per year, teachers included? Kevin in Seattle says, I'm a no vote because when property taxes go up, so do rents. And I would rather do without football than raise the barrier to home ownership for young people. Now, I'm going to be honest, because Kevin in Seattle is a regular texter, I was surprised that he said he votes no. That's not someone who I would have pegged as someone who votes no. I mean, and only recently, and we should all be doing it. You're looking very discouraged, G. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking that everything that you said, I didn't disagree. I think you're 100% right. I think that the reason why there's a lot of people who have a lot of distrust of, well, if they take a state income tax, well, they'll still continue to tax us. And I believe that. But the reason why I am shaking my head is it really bothers me the way things are designed in this state, that there are a lot of the people, the working class, a lot of the regressively taxed things, it's those that lower income pays a higher percentage of what they make. And sometimes like we do things because other people said it, or the favorite politician that we follow, or the influencer that we follow, or news person. So what they say, we will vote along those lines and we'll listen to them before we even think about our own situation. Mm-hmm. And that's not just happening here in the state. That's happening in this country right now. I believe that there are a lot of people that went into the voters' box in November, or maybe the voters' home, and you got ready to vote. And the number one reason you wanted change was you wanted groceries to go down, and you wanted to be able to afford things. And that's not happening right now.
Well, what I'm definitely hearing, one of the trends I'm absolutely seeing, is that people are hurting, and it's a financial decision. Now, I want to make sure that we also talk about people who say they are going to support it. Joe in the 253 says, I do live in Yelm, I don't have kids in school, and I am voting yes. And again, I would say that an investment in schools is a good thing, but I think people need to hear what the voters are saying and why now it's not an automatic anymore. No. People are just tapped out. And we did hear from a few people who said, if it's woke, let them go broke, or something to that effect, basically saying they don't agree with the curriculum. I want to make sure that we're not overlooking that. I don't see it right now in our list of texts, but we got several of those as well.
When you again, like I see the text messages that are coming in, and they're saying things like, but if you voted for Ferguson, if you voted for a Democrat, you voted for a Republican, like that's when I get sad. I get sad because there are people that really think that one politician, a Democrat or a Republican is directly responsible for what is happening. They're directly responsible for the game and the system that is literally designed to not care about people in this state that don't have the income. And that's the part where I just get sad all over again, Ursula, right? Because this is continuing, and there's probably a good chance that these school levies will continue to not pass. And when they don't pass, we don't have the means, so football programs will go away, Friday night football will go away, programs will go away. And oh, by the way, not always school saves lives. There are people like myself where I would say sports really was important. So the people that live in that community, if they have the means, they can go to private school.
Yes.
But the people that don't have it, they have to go stay in these schools.
Exactly.
Now what?
And we got a few texts saying, now this is depressing. I don't want to have to take my kid. You know what? You don't. And again, I will say, I think the messaging from the districts needs to be not that, oh my gosh, if you don't do this, we're going to have to cut X, Y, Z and threaten these things. And then people see, oh, you actually didn't do that. How about this is what is happening with your money? This is all the great stuff that we are doing with your money. I think the messaging needs to be totally different. Because I think ultimately we want the same thing, which is to make sure our communities are safe, that are okay, you're looking like you're going to disagree with me on that.
No, I don't disagree.
But I think that ultimately it's like we just disagree on how to get there, but we want our kids to succeed. A community and a neighborhood is only as good as the schools that, help our kids go through life.
Yeah, you're right. I don't. What you caught me doing, and I'm sorry you caught my face. Well, here's what the expression you caught on my face. Yes, I do believe the vast majority of us want the same things. We want safe family. The unfortunate part of what we are dealing with today is we have so many people that don't want them to have it because they look a certain way. They don't want them to have it because they identify a certain way. And that is the problem. Sure, we all want to be safe and we want education, but we also have people that are spending their time following these damn grifters by saying, hey, we don't want the trans to exist. Hey, we don't want undocumented immigrants to be able to go to the hospital and not have to worry. We don't want them to go to work. So that's what you caught in my face. We have that happening right now.
Well,
so
that's a combination. Yeah, so there's that added to the equation. What about this? Sassy just texted in. How about we change the conversation? Government isn't the answer. For those who want to support football, band, how about form a group and seek private funding?
Then that will work out the way it's currently working out. Bellevue will be just fine.
Exactly.
Sammamish will be just fine.
Go to the schools right
at the top.
Yeah,
wait.
The sad thing about this is all of the districts in which these levies are failing are the districts that are already struggling with funding. Bellevue's fine, right?
Bellevue is
Yelm
fine.
has already laid off 100 educators.
Now, it's funny that you mentioned that because another story that we have in this segment is that Niche, which is a Pennsylvania-based platform that gathers data and reviews schools and rates schools and neighborhoods and colleges nationwide, they have come out with their list of the 2026 best public schools in Washington. And once again, Bellevue and Mercer Island dominate the top spots. So they looked at things like reviews and feedback from parents, students, and teachers, and then academics, teacher quality, resources, et cetera. And their top 10 public elementary schools in Washington: West Mercer Elementary, Lake Ridge Elementary, which is also in Mercer Island, Spirit Ridge Elementary, Bellevue, Island Park Elementary, Mercer Island, Albert Einstein in Redmond. I mean, the list basically has Redmond, Sammamish, Bothell, Redmond, Bainbridge Island. I mean, they're just repeating Woodinville. You have to go pretty far down the list, and then you see a Tukwila in there, Lincoln High School in Seattle. So what trend do you see when we're talking about those?
Okay, this is very easy.
Wealth clusters.
Besides wealth clusters, let me dig into it right here, though. When English is a second language, what school districts do they head to first? Kent?
The poorest.
It's not Bellevue.
Seattle.
It's not Sammamish.
Does it cost more money to educate those kids too?
Yes, and is there the kind of parental support that you would see in other school districts?
No.
No.
And do schools also experience inflation like the rest of us have been?
Yeah. Okay. Y'all, this was one of the most interactive segments, and we couldn't have done it without all of you texting in. And I just want to say thank you.
All right. Can I just tell you?
Yeah.
I'm done with news.
I know.
I'm closing news, boss.
Okay.
If y'all do news again, I'm done. So you better do something fun. I'm tired.
Okay, well, we'll have that coming up next on the Gee and Ursula Show.
This hour is brought to you by DUI Heroes, a KIRO Newsradio exclusive.
This is Charlie Harder. I've spent the past 6 weeks investigating a story involving a youth pastor, child abuse, a mayor, and a name change, all while civic leaders appear to look the other way.
I've read the police report. It is horrible. It is sickening.
There's some level of calculation there.
You have to make it right.
How does no one have a problem with it?
Watch the full story at mynorthwest.com and the KIRO Newsradio YouTube page.
Life's expensive enough, isn't it? Groceries, gas, kids' activities. Sometimes your roof needs replacing, but your budget says not now. Hi, I'm Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. We want to help with an offer to lift that weight off your shoulders. Get 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for up to 24 months. Or save up to $3,000 on a new roof today. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com.
Open enrollment for Medicare happens every year, but for a lot of people, it's still confusing. Hi, this is Herb Weisbaum, the Consumer Man. Don't worry, help is on the way with a Medicare Jumpstart Toolkit brought to you by the Insurance Commissioner's SHIBA program. Find out what's changing and learn about your options for Medicare with 7 easy steps to get ready for open enrollment. Order your free copy of the Medicare Jumpstart Toolkit at insurance.wa.gov or pick up a copy at your local library or senior center.
Every time I turn around, my friends at Pure Talk give me one more reason to feel good about switching. This month, for instance, they're supporting Canines for Warriors, a terrific organization that trains rescue dogs and then pairs them up with combat veterans struggling with PTSD. The result? They're saving lives on both ends of the leash. This is why I switched to Pure Talk. I like being in business with an American wireless company who shares my values. Yeah, I appreciate unlimited talk, text, and plenty of 5G data for just $25 a month, and I bet you will too. But I think you'll really appreciate doing business with a company who gives back to the men and women who volunteered to defend our country. Just dial pound 250, say micro. With Pure Talk's U.S. customer service team, you can switch in as little as 10 minutes. Again, dial pound 250, say micro, to switch to an American wireless company who actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
Endless hours of research, seeking referrals, dozens of calls. Hiring the right attorney can be a challenging process during an already difficult time. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains.
In Washington State, Tom, there are thousands of attorneys to choose from. Referrals and online research can be helpful, but discovering the right attorney requires a conversation. It can be hard to identify integrity and authenticity without that interaction.
So, what do you recommend?
We encourage anyone looking for personal injury representation to call for a free consultation with our team before making a decision simply based on referrals or online research. Accident victims need an attorney that listens, demonstrates honesty, and is genuinely understanding of their unique circumstances. The care, attention, and preparation that our firm provides throughout the case mirrors the effort involved when taking on the insurance companies.
Save time and avoid mistakes after an injury. Contact the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
Stacey Rost here from Seattle Sports. Ladies and gentlemen, this is for you too. Stubborn fat is really hard to get rid of. And then there's all those gimmicky lasers, fat freezing methods, prescriptions. But imagine a simple solution that takes just one day and provides immediate noticeable results. Introducing ProSculpt. ProSculpt uses air-assisted technology that's safe and gentle, yet powerful, delivering instant fat-reducing and skin-tightening results. Performed by board-certified plastic surgeons while fully awake, ProSculpt contours your body with minimal downtime. It's designed to target problem areas: waistline, face, neck, arms, thighs. ProSculpt gently removes unwanted fat and tightens loose skin with FDA-cleared plasma technology, all in a simple, guaranteed one-day procedure. ProSculpt is one and done. For your free consultation and $250 off, visit ProSculpt.com for powerful permanent fat removal and skin tightening that works for ladies and you men. It's ProSculpt.com.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed cracks in your drywall, chimney, or exterior walls? I hope not, because if you have, they could be indications that you've got a much bigger problem with your foundation. That's where Groundworks comes in. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to stabilize your foundation. Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
With football season comes cooler weather, so if you need new windows and doors, don't drop the ball. Steve Rabel here. Call on locally owned Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington to tackle your project. Their wide selection of windows and doors always beats the competition, and they'll give you top-notch customer service with no trick plays. Schedule a free consultation with Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Go to PellaPNW.com. That's PellaPNW.com.
If you use carpool or toll lanes along SR 167 without a good-to-go account, you'll now receive a bill in the mail. That is a change. A good-to-go pass saves $2 on every toll. That is not a change. Learn more at goodtogo167.com.
Hey there, Dawn Riding with Olympic Hot Tub. You know what's better than soaking every night in a saltwater hot spring spa? Knowing you got it for an incredible price during our great rebate event. Save up to $4,500 on the best hot tub you can own. Saltwater soaking, incredible savings, sleeping better, feeling better. What are you waiting for? Our great rebate event ends October 27th. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Olympic Hot Tub. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. A federal indictment names more than 30 people in 2 illegal gambling schemes.
The indictments are for allegedly rigged poker games, partly run by organized crime. Former athletes were used to attract starstruck but unsuspecting bettors. U.S. Attorney Joseph Nocella on the big names arrested.
Chauncey Billups, who at the time of the scheme was a former NBA player and is currently the head coach of the Portland Trail Blazers. Damon Jones, a former NBA player and coach.
A second probe involves betting on NBA games based on confidential information. Miami Heat guard Terry Rozier among those indicted. He was arrested in Orlando this morning. Peter King, CBS News, Orlando.
Demolition of the White House East Wing continues. The cost of President Trump's project now estimated at $300 million.
It's going to be one of the great ballrooms of the world.
Trump says he's building the ballroom with his own funds and donors. CBS is reporting those donors include Seattle-based Amazon, Redmond-based Microsoft, and Bellevue's T-Mobile. As the federal government shutdown enters its 23rd day, millions of Americans are bracing for SNAP food benefits to stop at the end of the month. KIRO 7 TV's Samantha Lomibao reports.
Tatiana Martinez is filling her bag at the West Seattle Food Bank.
I got frozen peaches, yogurt.
Out of uncertainty of where her family's next meals will come from.
I've been stacking up my food and making use of the little EBT I have.
Martinez is one of nearly 930,000 Washingtonians who will lose SNAP benefits on October 31st if the shutdown continues, according to the Department of Social and Human Services.
The Everett City Council's delayed a vote on whether to renew a law that deters homeless camps. It bans sitting or lying down in parts of the downtown area. The council heard public testimony.
These ordinances criminalize homelessness.
We're not trying to criminalize the homeless, but just know that not everybody who comes to our neighborhood respects our neighborhood.
The council wants more data about who's getting cited under the law before taking action. A Pierce County Sheriff's Major is now charged with 2 counts of vehicular assault DUI. Prosecutors say Chad Dickerson crashed into a family's SUV in Graham in July, injuring a child and grandmother. The results of his blood alcohol level just came back from the lab. It's over the legal limit. On Wall Street, the Dow is up 189 points. NASDAQ ahead 236. KIRO News Radio traffic. Here's Nate Connors.
Hey, thanks, Heather. This report brought to us by D.R. Horton. Out in Port Orchard, we've got road work going on this morning. It's westbound 16 at the State Route 166 interchange. It's blocking a lane, and traffic is backed up bumper to Sedgwick Road. That's a 2-mile backup, and this is expected to last until about 2 o'clock. North 5 through Seattle slows from the West Seattle Bridge to 520. South 5 is looking good, though. Just minor crowding through the U District. Linwood to Seattle, right around a 15-minute drive. Northbound 405, you're crowded through the Renton S-curves. Down in Federal Way, eastbound 18, you're jammed up at Weyerhaeuser over to Military Road. As far as I can tell, this is just volume. And some drive times. Federal Way to Seattle's at 25 minutes. Tacoma to Olympia, 35 minutes. Seattle to Everett, just a half hour. The D.R. Horton National Red Tag Sales event has been extended through October 26th. Visit a D.R. Horton community today or drhorton.com, America's builder and equal housing and opportunity builder. KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Cloudy skies with highs in the low 60s. It's 59 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show. Gee and I feel like we've been running a marathon because y'all have been keeping us really busy today. It has been, like we said coming in, this was going to be a super packed, news-filled show, and it sure has been. And we said we need a palate cleanser right now. I'm tired. I know. We're exhausted, but you know who's going to help us out? Our friend Sully. Chris Sullivan is here.
So I'm a palate cleanser now? Geez, well, I can't be in at the top of the show because I'm not doing sports gambling. I'm not bringing down the mayor of Auburn.
I know, right? Oh, my
We're not tearing up the White House. I mean, come on. What am I doing here?
You know what? We were so packed, we didn't even bring up the White House.
Oh, I thought for sure that would be in there.
Bring up the White House.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's happening.
No.
Stuff.
Okay.
What do you want to talk about?
But I want to talk about snow because, wait a minute, it's October 23rd.
Correct.
And you're giving tips on snow driving.
Yep, because we could get our first pass-level snow this weekend if you're going to be heading over I-90 at Snoqualmie Pass. We had a little dusting in some higher elevations the last couple of weeks, especially at Blewett. But, yeah, if you're heading over to the east side this weekend, especially Sunday, I mean, as the atmospheric river moves into town, we could get snow up there. So I thought it was time to, let's talk about the basics that everybody forgets.
Yes.
And just kind of get ready for winter.
So let's go through them.
Okay, simple stuff. Get your car ready. Duh.
Okay, but what does that
Wiper
entail?
blade.
Because I'll bet you and I, let's do a checklist of the things that he says.
Check your fluids.
Okay,
because obviously you want to make sure you got antifreeze. That's how everything's topped off there, good to go.
When was the last time you did that?
Funny you say that. I got a text message about an hour ago telling me my car is done.
See, there you go. Way to winterize. Wiper blades. Lights.
Okay.
Make sure those are all good. Tire depth. Make sure that your tires are still good to go. Pack that little bag that you keep for the winter.
What do you have in your bag?
A couple of bottles of water, a couple of power bars. I'm not sure how old they are because I haven't checked that bag in a while. Hope there isn't a mouse or rats in them. A blanket, a couple of sweatshirts, and then hats, gloves, and a flashlight, and I check the batteries of the flashlight just to be safe because you never know when you might get stuck, and it's always just a good time to keep that going. And I also talked to the Department of Transportation. They have all 1,500 maintenance workers ready to go. They've inspected all 500 snowplows. The sheds are full of salt and whatever the de-icing material they need, so they're all ready to go. So it's just a reminder to get prepped and think about it. And one thing that we can talk about here in a little bit is to perhaps as a driver, lose your overconfidence in your vehicle and in your ability.
Talk about that.
Are you talking to Subaru drivers?
I'm talking to every driver. I'm talking to every driver
Subaru
who has four-wheel drive.
Because they know it's safe and they're
But that doesn't mean they know how to drive them safely.
We've all seen the 4x4 drivers that just fly, right?
Yes.
They don't,
So people heard you say, work on your overconfidence. Being
Correct.
serious. Let's talk about that.
Okay, so you can have a couple of things. You can have overconfidence in your ability as a driver, and you can have overconfidence in your vehicle. Say you've got all the bells and whistles, all-wheel drive vehicle. I'm good to go. I can go along. I'm driving in my Jeep in that commercial where the snow is blowing over your thing, for a commercial. But no, the biggest problem that happens this time of year when the passes get closed or we run into issues in snow, a lot of it is self-inflicted. Drivers aren't following the restrictions that are up there, chain restrictions, tire restrictions, things like that.
Yeah.
And then they drive too fast for conditions. Maybe I've been driving in snow my whole life, but maybe you've been driving in Denver snow. Denver snow is not Washington snow, right? Midwest snow is not Washington snow. Washington snow is so thick with water, it grabs your tires like any other snow in Montana, Idaho, some of those places, it blows out of your way, right? Just different type of snow. Got to get ready for that if you're new to the area. And as Trooper Rick Johnson told me, four-wheel, all-wheel drive is great for getting you going and getting you traction. But he goes, the snow or ice doesn't give a damn whether you have 42-wheel drive or not. You're not going to stop any better.
Yeah.
It's the stopping that gets you. It's the skidding that gets you. So that's what I mean by overconfidence in your rig. And just, take it easy.
You brought up something. You brought up chains, because here pretty soon, Sully, you're going to be telling everybody, hey, you got to go east of the mountains. You need to have your chains on whenever that starts.
Yeah. November 1st.
November 1st. Okay, I got a question for you. After November 1st, and you head towards eastern Washington, and you don't have your chains on, and you slide into a ditch, question.
Yes.
Should the responsibility be on you or the taxpayer?
In terms of what?
When they come and tow you out and they get out of it. How
right, okay, I'm with
because you weren't prepared for the conditions.
Okay, so, first of all, there are a couple of different things there. As of November 1st, you need to carry chains. Okay, and if you don't, especially if you're a big rig, that's state law. You can face $150-ish, I think, is the fine for not having them. Not following the chain restriction can take you up to $500.
Okay,
and so you're going to be paying a hefty fine there anyway. Yep. And if you get pulled out or if you cause something, that should be on you. Right? If you're the fault. Well, that's the thing. If you cause, at that point you get insurance involved because I'm assuming, but they're not going to charge you for shutting down the pass.
What do you think?
Now, if you go up there unprepared, I think you should, there's responsibility and personal accountability that needs to come into this. Last year, I believe, and this is going to sound bad, but it's true.
Okay.
Don't be the Prius driver who went up there during the first restrictions because it was last year who got caught, and then a truck came up behind it, started losing traction, and then next thing you know, the whole pass was closed.
I remember that.
Because the person was like, "Hey, I got this." I'm like, "No, you don't got this."
But they
I don't think that person
get charged.
No, I don't think for shutting down the pass. No, but I'm sure they've got a variety of tickets for not being prepared and not following the regulations. So don't be that person, please.
Okay, I need to
It
ask.
just happened to be a priest, which made it kind of funny for me. Sorry.
Okay, I need to ask about this I-90 near Cleveland.
Ooh, yeah.
The bridge. Okay, why is it just me, or does it seem like trucks are smacking into overpasses?
Well, it's the 3 in the last 6 weeks or so, 2 months, something like that. Yeah.
What is happening?
I'm not sure. It's hard to hard to kind of get a blanket around that. This one is really odd because this was an oversized load, not like a truck that happened to be too high because they messed up somehow. This was an oversized with the markings on it. Should have known better. If part of that trip permit they had, you were supposed to get off at that off-ramp, get right back on because the height of that overpass could not have handled the size of that truck. That person should have known that, and I'm sure that person is going to be fined for that. And I'm sure the company will be sued to pay for what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And by the way, we should know, I'm hoping, my friends at DOT told me they're hoping to have maybe a little bit more information
so it's westbound
by
90?
noon. Yeah, on when they might be able to get something done. But yeah, they're going to, in my humble non-engineering opinion, they're going to have to take down the whole overpass. Do it quickly so that they can reopen I-90. That's what they did in 2007 when an overheight vehicle took out an overpass near Easton, a little further to the west towards Snoqualmie Pass. They took 3 days, shut down brought the whole thing down, and to open up east-west, because that's what's most important.
Right.
Now, don't get me wrong. Bullfrog's important to that Cle-Elum, that overpass. 1,500 people a day use that. Emergency vehicles use that. And the DOT's yard where all the snow plows and all the sand and everything is on the south side of the freeway. And they now
we're
might
about
not
to
be
have
able to
our
go
first
across.
snow on the path.
Yeah, this is going to have an
man.
impact, but hopefully we'll be able to, and our good friend Nate Connors will be on top of that to help maybe guys update us throughout the day.
Thanks, Sully.
Yeah, be careful. Palate cleansed.
Palate cleansed.
Palate cleansed. Thanks, man.
Yeah. Let's go to that text messages.
Whoo. Let's get to the text messages and
Andrew, Chef has something that he wants to share. We have an update.
You called him Andrew.
Yeah.
You just called him Andrew.
I did. This is business.
Using my government name?
I'm using your government name because you know how we own up to mistakes that we make?
Yeah.
Well, there was a bit of a doozy. And Chef Andrew is going to explain coming up next.
Celebrating 50 years of Seahawks football.
Number 54, Bobby Wagner, linebacker, one of the finest of his generation. He set just about every tackling record that can be set. He was the heart and soul of one of the best defenses to ever play in the National Football League.
Since the beginning, KIRO is where Seattle and the Pacific Northwest have heard the Seahawks play. Here's to the next 50 years.
Hey, it's G. Scott. Cancer touches us all, and as tough as it is, there is real hope. Right here at UW Medicine, the Cancer Vaccine Institute is developing vaccines to treat and even prevent some of the deadliest cancers. Real people are seeing remarkable results, longer remissions, better quality of life. And get this, patients who received the cancer vaccines more than 20 years ago are still alive today. That's powerful. But this life-saving work depends on us. Donations fuel the research, the clinical trials, and the next breakthrough. Safeway is stepping up on your next grocery run. It's simple to give at the register. So join me. Stop by any Safeway, make a donation, and help ignite the immune system to end cancer. Every dollar counts, and every action brings hope to a family like yours and mine. Together, we can change the story. Learn more at uwcbi.org. That's uwcbi.org.
Carter Subaru, Seattle's only Subaru dealership, has the largest selection of Subarus in our state. For a limited time, you can get the 2025 Subaru Outback for 0.9% financing for 60 months. With over 100 Outbacks to choose from, you're going to find the exact color and trim you've been looking for. Visit Carter Subaru in Shoreline and Ballard or anytime at cartersubaru.com.
On approved credit, subject to vehicle insurance and availability. A documentary service fee may be added to the sale price or capitalized costs. See dealer for details. Valid through 10/31/25.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
Hey, Brock Ewart here. Taking the First Mark Insurance Challenge could save your family a lot of money. It saved us thousands. First Mark works for you. Search in the carriers for lower rates and better coverage. If that sounds smart, go to firstmarkinsurance.com.
Hey, it's John Curley with Dr. Kopstein from K2 Vision RLE. Doc, I heard that 50% of Americans have their lenses replaced by the time they're 75.
That's exactly right, John. As we near 50, our eye's natural lens starts to become dysfunctional.
If you've now added readers to your need for glasses and contacts, it's a sign the quality and function of your natural lens is fading, and it's a steady decline towards cataracts.
Don't go another 20 plus years with poor vision, hassling with contacts and readers. Do what I did. Choose a quick, painless refractive lens exchange from K2 Vision RLE and start enjoying great vision now.
Our new lens technology is truly amazing. After replacing over 100,000 lenses, we have the experience to guide each patient to their best solution, even if that's recommending you wait a little while before RLE.
K2 Vision RLE can restore distance and near vision permanently, plus never develop a cataract. Read the reviews and schedule a free Zoom consultation now at k2visionrle.com.
The Tacoma Holiday Festival, presented by Puyallup Chocolates, is October 23rd through 26th at the Tacoma Dome. Buy tickets at holidaygiftShows.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why Big Wireless wants you on an unlimited plan? They probably want you to cover the cost of those 20-somethings using all that data every month. But most people 50 and up like me only use 12 gigs or less. Don't get bamboozled by Big Wireless. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Our plans start at just $20, and we use the same towers as the big guys. Join the millions who choose something better, because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/fax or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Catch 10-time Grammy winner Arturo Sandoval, October 23rd through 26th at Dimitro's Jazz Alley. The Cuban trumpet legend lights up the stage with Afro-Cuban rhythms and high-energy jazz. Tickets at jazzalley.com.
Eric Butler here, General Manager at Kia of Everett, with some big news. Kia just dropped the biggest EV deals we've ever seen. The expired federal tax credit was great, but these new Kia rebates and lease specials are even more aggressive. We're talking thousands in savings on the award-winning EV6, EV9, Niro EV, and more. These exciting EV offers won't last, so get into Kia of Everett today before inventory disappears, or see us at kiaofeverett.com.
Check out the Kia Fall Sales Event at Kia of Everett. Simple, easy, fun.
It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Ursula just asked me if I was good with text messages. I thought I was done for the day.
Before that, though, as you know, on our show, if we make a mistake, we are going to own it. And, Gee, when you were off, Chef and I did a show together, and we talked about a particular issue where we made some mistakes.
That's very generous of you to say we, because it was me.
Yes, okay.
All right, so come November, Seattle voters are going to decide on Prop 1. It's a $1.3 billion 60-year property tax levy. They're calling it the Family's Education, Preschool, and Promise Levy. And what I did was I made a mistake on how much each slot for childcare and for preschool would cost. So I'm just going to read from the ballot language here so you understand what's going on. So a significant portion of the funding, $658 million, is going to be for early learning. That includes more than doubling the number of affordable childcare slots from 600 to 1,400, adding 600 seats to the Seattle preschool program. So what I did was I tried to break that down and average what the cost would be per child. So I said $155 million for 800 subsidized childcare slots would work out to $194,000 per child. That's an eye-popping number.
Outrageous.
The mistake I made is that it is a 6-year levy, so I did not delineate the fact that it would not be per year, right? So that number is actually $32,000, according to the ballot language, for each kid for subsidized childcare. When it comes to the Seattle preschool program, there's $452 million for 600 new kids coming in. I said that would cost $754,000. Again, eye-popping. That number is actually $125,000. Again, that's still
so times 6 would come up with a figure.
Yeah, $125,000. At a total of $607 million for 1,400 kids, I said it would be $434,000 per child. It's actually $72,000 per child. Now, I need to note that the mayor's office sent me over numbers that are different than that. And they are different than what is actually on the ballot language. And they claim, for example, that 17,000 kids are going to get preschool under this levy. They say that about 8,400 kids are going to get subsidized childcare. Again, that's not reflected on the ballot, but we have invited someone who is very knowledgeable about the levy from the mayor's office to join us next week. And I want to not only correct myself, but issue an apology. And I'm sorry for that. When we get it wrong, it's very, very important to our integrity that we own up to it and make it right.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, thank you for that. And again, because we've got an election not that far away, we are going to make sure that you hear directly from the folks who are in charge of that particular campaign. We had a bunch of other topics today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the Auburn mayor that vouched for a child rapist who has been working around kids since the release from prison. Dee in Bellevue says child rapists seem to be protected worldwide, from Jeffrey Epstein to the British royal family. Now this.
On the topic of sports gambling, Beth in Everett said, at the Hawks game on Monday night, several people around me were engrossed in their sports gambling apps instead of actually watching the game being played right in front of them. How depressing. Tracy in Tacoma said, NCAA allowing gambling while simultaneously allowing the young athletes to be paid seems like a recipe for disaster. Give a youngster a whole bunch of money, then encourage reckless, addictive behavior.
Jose in Bremerton says, my buddies gamble in Washington by using a VPN and switching their location to Oregon.
On the topic of Yelm being one of the districts that are saying that they could cut football and band if a levy fails for the fourth time, Leland in Gig Harbor said, this reminds me of my hometown of Port Angeles. Behind a string of failed levies, there were no sports in the 1969-1970 school year. It was devastating. It was a year of vandalism, teen drinking, and a string of fatal traffic accidents by students. And imagine being a senior in high school at that time. It was a moment that left deep scars. For years after that, though, every levy and bond was passed.
Time for words to live by. What do you got, Ursula?
This is a quote from Roy T. Bennett, who says, it takes guts and humility to admit mistakes. Admitting we're wrong is courage, not weakness.
Good stuff, Ursula.
This goes down as one of my very favorite shows since we started.
Really?
Yeah. I know you're exhausted.
I'm exhausted.
This was an all-meat show. Meat lovers.
False.
Well, big news of the day came from another sporting land, and it's not the Mariners or the Seahawks leagues caught with red hands, but an NBA debacle that involves the FBI only scratching just the surface that's seen by the naked eye. So let this be a lesson for the kids who play the game. When it's all about the money, the integrity goes to shame. So keep it fun. Make sure the money isn't the only purpose out there.
Oh, come on now, Nick. There you go. You know, yeah, this was definitely a show for sure. And I appreciate you all guys hanging out with us. But you want to know one of the reasons why I'm tired too?
What's that?
Because I've been thinking about how at the end of the month, the SNAP benefits are potentially going away if nothing happens.
That's just
and that's some news. And that's some news that you and I will be talking about.
Yeah.
And how will we talk about that?
We need just to urge.
That's going to be hard.
Yes.
Yeah. Thanks, Ursula.
We need more adults in the room there.
You're right. Thanks, Ursula.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chef. Chef rocking the Edmonds hat. Appreciate it. Hey, thank you, Nick.
You too, man.
Hey, Jake and Spike Show comes in next. Appreciate you for listening. Love you for that. And as always, be kind.
Hope you had as much fun as we have. So long, everybody.
Save 30% on select perennials now at Sky Nursery.
I'm Jen, the greenhouse manager at Sky Nursery. For gardeners in the Pacific Northwest, fall is like a second spring. It's a great time to plant. You have so many options that will look gorgeous now and set you up beautifully for next year's springtime garden. Sky Nursery, the gardener's garden store, no matter the time of year.
Save 30% on select perennials while supplies last. More savings and details at skynursery.com.
Gee and Ursula, weekdays from 9 to noon on KIRO News Radio.
I got to tell you something, Nick. I have really noticed a difference in your energy level since you started going to the Longevity Medical Clinic.
And you know why?
Why?
Because they actually balanced my hormone levels. And when they do that, the largest change I noticed was that now I could sleep.
And then not only get more sleep, to just get more energy, right?
Right. So that all of a sudden that resulted in me, I started running again and doing all these things that I felt so fatigued throughout the day that I couldn't do anymore.
Okay, so at this point, do you want to apologize to me? Because I was always saying to you, every time you say, I don't sleep, I don't feel well, I feel kind of off, I go, well, you need to get in touch with Longevity Medical Clinic. And you're always like, blah, 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 blah.
I know. But now it's turned into something fun that we get to go in together.
So I need to hear, you were right.
You were right.
You were right. I should have gone to Longevity Medical Clinic.
I should have.
There we go. Fine.
Yes.
You know the right thing to do. Get in touch with Longevity Medical Clinic. Take the free health analysis at lmclinic.com.
You gave years, maybe decades to your job. You showed up, worked hard, and planned for retirement. But now the company's changed, or maybe you've taken a buyout or been forced into early retirement. So what happens next? I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. And if you've built up a 401k or thrift savings plan, now is the time to ask, is that money really working for you? Many workplace retirement plans offer limited options and even less guidance. At Trajan Wealth, we help people just like you roll over their accounts into IRAs with more flexibility and personalized investment strategies built around your goals. For households with $500,000 or more, let us build you a personalized plan. We operate on veteran values, service, trust, and doing what's right. Your next chapter starts now. Call Trajan Wealth, 206-656-3300, 206-656-3300.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Hey, listen to this. All I needed was a new starter. Got a great deal on eBay. Did it myself.
Yeah, that's cool. But how about the soft purr of an upgraded exhaust when it fits just right?
For me, it's the little things, like these new windshield wipers from eBay I installed.
From small fixes to big upgrades, eBay has all the parts you need at prices you'll love, guaranteed to fit every time. eBay, things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Eggland's Best. The only eggs with more fresh and delicious taste plus superior nutrition. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1 Tacoma.